Welcome to Papermaker Stadium here in Kimberly, the site for tonight's WIAA Division I second-round playoff game between the visiting Neenah Rockets and the host Kimberly Papermakers. We are, again, in another week of playoff football. We got another good one for you here between these two Fox Valley Association rivals. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ricardo Arguello, hanging out with Brett Christopherson, bringing you those high-definition shots. Jim Rosandick, we're all part of USA Today Network Wisconsin. And Brett, have you built a house here yet? Because I think we need to just stay here apparently because, is this our third or fourth Kimberly game in a row?
Well, we did Kaukauna and then back-to-back Appleton North games here. And now, Neenah, well, where else are we supposed to be, Ricardo? These are some of the top games in the state of Wisconsin.
That's true.
And this one could be the top game of the night in the state of Wisconsin, certainly in Division I, right? Two rivals in Ricardo. A Neenah squad that beat Kimberly, handed the Papermakers their only loss of the season not all that long ago. So where else should we be? This is going to be a great matchup, and we say it, right? A coin flip game. Two talented teams, two very good defenses, two teams with playmakers. Grant Dean for Neenah. You think of Marcus Doucette and Keegan Plew and Braden Ellefson and all these guys for the Papermakers. Could be like you said last week or a couple weeks ago, whoever has the ball last might win this game. And, boy, if that's the way it goes tonight, we're in for a big-time treat here in the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah, well, their first meeting was an all-time classic, and we'll talk about that later here in the live stream. But let's get to know these teams a little bit. I will start with Kimberly. Brett will follow with Neenah. Again, these notes every week put together so graciously by Mr. Christopherson. Well, what do we know about the Papermakers? Were the two-seeded coming into the playoffs? They're winners of 3 straight. They're coming off a 35-16 win over FVA rival Appleton North last Friday. That was a WIAA Division I first-round playoff matchup here at Papermaker Stadium. Yes, it was a game we did live stream. Now, Kimberly did most of its damage on the ground as it used a balanced rushing attack to finish with 173 yards and 4 touchdowns. Keegan Plew led the way with 60 yards rushing and a touchdown on 10 carries. He scored on a 33-yard run in the fourth. Now, Marcus Doucette was next with 55 yards on 13 attempts. And Brady Bell, don't forget about him. He had 37 yards and a touchdown, a 1-yard plunge on 7 carries. And quarterback Braden Ellefson, he also had 21 yards rushing and a pair of touchdowns, 5 and 2 yards. He did that on 8 carries. Carter Howard, quickly becoming a playmaker for Kimberly, he scored on an 88-yard kickoff return in the first quarter to tie the game at 7 apiece. Ellefson, he threw for 14 yards on 3 of 10 passing. All 3 of his completions were to Howard. And defensively, boy, did Ellefson shine. He was all over the field with 12 tackles. He had the strip sack in which he also recovered the fumble, Brett. That led to one of his touchdowns.
Yeah.
And then Brennan Rush, he also had 7 tackles for Kimberly. Also, Sawyer Hanlon had a pick. And Eli Jansen had a very strong game. Seemed to be all over the place. He also posted a sack. Now, on the season, Ellefson has thrown for 891 yards and 10 touchdowns. While completing 60% of his passes. He has 5 picks. Plew leads the way in rushing with 710 yards and 10 touchdowns. He's averaging a robust 8.7 yards a carry. He's averaging 88.8 yards rushing per game. Bell is next with 322 yards and 7 touchdowns, while Ellefson checks in with 307 yards and 10 touchdowns. Now, Doucette, he's also rushed for 277 yards and 2 touchdowns. That's despite missing a big portion of the season due to that broken collarbone. Now, Howard is a team leader in receiving with 32 catches for 470 yards and 6 scores. Aaron Cullen is next with 19 catches for 292 yards and 2 scores. And on the defensive side, Ellefson, the leading tackler with 60 stops. Tyler Williamson right behind with 56. Sawyer Hanlon, very active front for Kimberly. He's tops in sacks with 3. Team stats. Now, Kimberly's averaging 118.6 passing yards a game, and they're allowing 119.4. Papermakers, their strength is on the ground. They're averaging 201.4 rushing yards a game, and they're allowing 136.1. And overall, points-wise, they're averaging 34.9 points a game and allowing 12.9. Next, if the Papermakers win, they'll play either top-ranked Franklin or Muskego next Friday in a WIAA Division I state quarterfinal. Kickoff scheduled for 7 o'clock there. Brett, what can you tell me about the Neenah Rockets?
Red hot Rockets, Ricardo. 8-2 coming in. You mentioned Kimberly 8-1, so similar records. But the number 3 seeded Rockets, winners of 6 straight. They're coming off a 42-8 rout of Milwaukee Hamilton Audubon Technology.
What?
Yeah, that
Who?
was last Friday
Okay.
in a WIAA Division I first-round playoff matchup. Over at Neenah High School, Neenah opened up a 36-0 halftime lead on its way to the win. That included touchdown runs of 47 and 1 yard by 1 yard, by Grant Dean.
You wrote it.
Yeah, I did. And 4 yards by Evan Van Evenhoven. Van Evenhoven also threw for a score, a 22-yard hookup with Levi Boyven to cap the first half onslaught. Dean, the University of Wisconsin recruit, he led the way in rushing with 106 yards on 9 carries. Overall, Neenah finished with 187 yards on the ground and 5 touchdowns, the other coming on a 20-yard run by Cooper Seek. That was in the fourth quarter. Seek rushed for 67 yards in the win. Van Evenhoven was a perfect 9 of 9 through the air, Ricardo. He passed for 94 yards. Matthias Charles, he paced the receivers with 4 catches for 19 yards, while Bennett Stuckel had the big reception of the night, a 52-yarder. Defensively, Luke Young, another big game, 10 tackles. Andrew Carlson came up with an interception. On the season, Van Evenhoven has thrown for 1,278 yards and 7 touchdowns while completing 75% of his passes. Dean is the Rockets' top rusher with 962 yards and 15 TDs. He's averaging 10.2 yards per carry, 106.9 yards per game. Van Evenhoven is next with 448 yards and 11 scores. Dre Hannon has also provided a nice punch on the ground for Neenah. He has 393 yards and 5 touchdowns. Charles, 23 receptions, leads the team in that category. He also has 167 receiving yards. Ashton Van Beek, remember that name, Ricardo?
Sure.
He has the most receiving yards on the team with 362, also a touchdown. Young, 15 catches for 240 yards and 4 TDs. On the defensive side, Young is the top tackler with 84 stops. He also has a pair of sacks, which also leads the team, a fumble recovery as well, and an interception. Cole Fensky is next with 68 tackles. Brandon Price is the team leader in interceptions with 2. As a team, Neenah is averaging 128.1 passing yards per game and allowing 152.7. The Rockets are averaging 208.5 rushing yards per game and allowing 131.8. And then as we look at the scoreboard, Neenah, Ricardo averaging 31.2 points per game and allowing 14.2. And as Ricardo said, up next for one of these 2 teams is either top-ranked Franklin or Muskego. And, folks, I see we got a great YouTube chat going right now. If anybody can kind of keep us up to date on how that game is going, we'd sure like to find out. Ricardo, we think that that's going to be a pretty close game. I know Franklin's undefeated top seed, but Muskego, they're no joke. That is a very good, proud program in one of the league's top conferences in the Classic 8.
Yeah, I think if I can keep it, I'll keep an eye on it as well. We have a lot of great area playoff games going on too, Brett. Our buddies back in the office, Dan Cohn, Jim Oscola, hopefully will keep us updated with those scores as well. Brett, I will say, Mike Sherry, our good friend and also my boss, he is at Winneconne Xavier. That's a big matchup between area teams there, Brett, in Division 4. So we hope to bring you updates as soon as we get them. But this one, Brett, like you said, to me, this is the game of the night, though. I guess you could say Franklin Muskego, Brett.
Yeah, and somebody on the chat mentioned Arrowhead.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one, too.
Is another good one. Just a lot of good games throughout the state of Wisconsin here in the second round. Almost, I mean, here we are, one win away or 1 week away from the state quarterfinals already. We're getting to the nitty-gritty, and I love it. And thanks to Ryan McGinnis and the crew again here. I mean, I feel like we're wearing out our welcome here, but Ryan is the athletic director here at Kimberly High School. But, I mean, you go Kaukauna was here, Appleton North back-to-back. Now Neenah, it's just the way the schedule lays out. And we're just very, very happy to be here, and thanks to Ryan and his fantastic staff for making sure we're good to go. Always appreciate it. We're going to talk more about tonight's game and everything that we have coming up digitally, I guess, at USA Today Network Wisconsin as well. But first, our national anthem.
As the Kimberly High School Pep Band, under the direction of Mr. Craig Dahl, honors the United States of America and those working to protect our freedom and our country with our national anthem. We encourage you to join in singing.
job by the Kimberly Marching Band playing our national anthem. I'm Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network Wisconsin. Hanging out with Ricardo Arguello, Jim Rosandick. We call him Rosie, but appreciate everybody checking us out tonight on our Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week. Ricardo, I want to thank our sponsors. We have Cellcom, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear, and a special brand new sponsor, Piggly Wiggly, is joining us.
Oh, well, welcome, Piggly Wiggly. Shop the pig, Brett.
Well, absolutely. First Cellcom Black Friday starting early at Cellcom, now through November 4th. That's Monday, right? Choose a smartphone for just $1 per month. Visit Cellcom.com for details. Thanksgiving is around the corner, and Piggly Wiggly has all your holiday essentials, including turkeys, hams, the freshest produce, and everything else you need for the perfect Thanksgiving feast. Stop by your local Piggly Wiggly and get ready to celebrate. Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig. And get your team, club, or business name out there with Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. They customize products specifically to fit their customers' needs. Custom embroidery, screen printing, and graphic design. Cooney's does it all. Visit them online at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear.com. Ricardo, how do you think this game's going to go tonight?
Well, seeing that the first game was decided by a point, look, I'm reaching for low-hanging fruit here, Brett. This is my prediction. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
The team that makes the least amount of mistakes, now I'm talking about fumbles, interceptions, anything like that, botched punt returns, the team that makes the least amount of mistakes is going to win this game.
That's not low-hanging fruit. That's just, especially this time of year. Now, something to keep in mind, this is the first Friday night of the season where it's cool outside, right?
Yeah.
It's chilly. Kind of wonder about that football being a little slick, too. It's these kids going to be adjust to the colder temperatures because we've had gorgeous weather for the first, 10 weeks of the season. Definitely a cool, crisp night here at Kimberly, Wisconsin. So let's see, you're right. Any fumbles, any type of big miscues could be what changes the game in one of these two teams' favor.
Another couple things that I think are big. Evan Van Evenhoven has really progressed as a thrower, Brett, this season. If they're able to find a good amount of balance, their offense is going to be tough to stop. I know Kimberly's defense is very good, averaging 12, 13 points allowed. So that's something to watch. Also, Kimberly, yes, they run the ball very well, but they did not have Marcus Doucette that first time. And I think he's an X factor as well.
Good point, yeah, and he's kind of getting into his rhythm a little bit. Remember, he broke his collarbone in week 2.
Week 2.
Came back in week 9 against Appleton North, limited snaps, right? Then last week played. I wouldn't even say maybe limited snaps in week 9. I thought he got on the field a little bit more maybe than I was even anticipating, but you figure he's really rounding into form as well. I tell you what, though, Ricardo, Neenah with Grant Dean, you talk about a playmaker, right? The Badger recruit, he gets out in the open field, forget it. He's got that sprinter speed. And in the blink of an eye, he can take one to the house. Rockets going to kick off to start this game. Carter Howard and Keegan Plew back for the Papermakers in this Division I second-round game. Oh, just love this atmosphere here. Big crowd on hand. We'll see who takes that one next step towards a hopeful trip to Camp Randall. Kickoff is underway, and that's Plew at about the 3, we'll say. Plew looking for some room, and he's got some room near side. Cuts it back. Now near his home sideline, but we have a flag right at the end of the play. So we'll see what that is all about. It might be on Neenah the way the official was.
Was it a face mask?
And it is a personal foul face mask, so tack on 15 more yards, Ricardo.
That's tough. That's a tough beginning for Neenah because now, where's this at? Right now it's at the 42. Brett, now they're going to be inside Neenah territory.
Yeah, plus territory for the Papermakers, so a costly 15-yarder on top of a very good return. You figure from the 3 to, that was, about a 37, 38-yard return maybe? Close to a 40-yard return.
Brett, we already have a touchdown in that Kaukauna Beaver Dam matchup.
Who's got it?
I think it's Aiden Reardon.
Okay.
Long run, like a 32-yard run.
That's just down the road at Kaukauna, a few miles away from here. Good luck to the Ghosts tonight.
Yeah, they're my pick to make it in D2, Brett, remember? Yeah, it was Reardon.
Well, here we go. 1st and 10 for the Papermakers in Neenah territory to start this game. Howard in motion, but Doucette gets a handoff, and he spins his way, and he's got a first down run. That's about 11-yard pickup. Yeah, good blocking up front by the Papermakers.
Ball's taken up to the 32, 11-yard run there for Doucette, Brett. And you talked about him maybe rounding into shape. I mean, fresh legs, right? This point in the season, Plu and Brady Bell have done a great job, and Ellefson too, of carrying this team offensively in the ground game. But now, when you have a guy the caliber of Doucette, you just unleash the beast.
Well, Doucette is back there in the Wildcat this time. As he waits for the snap, Doucette, he's just going to tuck it in, look for some running room, and Grant Dean might have been one of the first ones there, number 19 for the Rockets as well. That's Hunter Weinke, the junior outside linebacker. Bringing down Doucette, second down inside the 30 at the 29.
Yeah, 3-yard gain, Brett. We'll call it a second and a long 6 for Kimberly. Again, that penalty put them inside Neenah territory off that really nice return by Plu.
Neenah leads this all-time series, 40-31-2. 40 wins, 31 losses, 2 ties. Dates back to 1951, Ricardo.
Oh, yeah. Were you a senior that year?
Yeah. And Plu going nowhere, and there's a big hard tackle by guess who? Grant Dean, and I see a flag on the far side of the field as well.
Yep, and we'll see what they're going to call here, Brett. Officials going over. Are they talking to Neenah over there?
Well, yeah, they're talking to the Rockets, wondering, I suppose, it looks like it must be on Kimberly. Are they going to accept it? It looks like they're going to back up the Papermakers and take this penalty. Illegal shift against the Papermakers as they sort things out. Hey, Ricardo, Neenah beat Kimberly 29-28 in Week 7. That was the last time they played. That was at Neenah High School. The victory snapped a 19-game losing streak for the Rockets against the Papermakers. Neenah hadn't beaten Kimberly since the 05 season. Jack Clunt, 29-yard field goal with 10 seconds remaining to give the Rockets the win. Grant Dean, 80-yard touchdown run in that one to propel the Rockets. Evan Van Evenhoven had a big night, 211 yards and 3 touchdowns on 14 of 18 passing. Carter Howard had 5 catches for 107 yards and a score for Kimberly. Brady Bell, 115 yards and a touchdown on the ground for Kimberly that night as well. And
oh boy,
now what do we have?
Delay of game?
That is a delay of game now on Kimberly, so backing up the Papermakers.
Brett, it went from 2nd and 7 at the 29 to 2nd and 17 at the 39.
That Week 7 matchup, Neenah finished with 381 yards, Kimberly 319. It's also the 4th time these two teams have met in the playoffs, so I'll talk about the playoff history. 3rd straight season. So here we go. We're going to get a playoff. Let's see what happens on this snap as Ellefson now back at quarterback waiting for it. He's just going to tuck it in, look for some running room, and spins his way forward. Tackled by Luke Young, 6'2", 206-pound senior safety, also a fantastic tight end, one of the captains for the Rockets.
Brings up a 3rd and 9, Brett, 8-yard gain there for Ellefson.
And you got to think, Ricardo, right, two downs to try to pick up this first down here, 4-down territory at the 31. Although Maddox Hermes, he's got a good leg.
He does. The Diesel.
You can see near side Cullen and Carter Howard. Now Howard in motion, and Ellefson's going to run, looking for something. Instead, he keeps it, and I think let's see where they mark it. It's going to be close. So Ellefson making some guys miss, and I think he got the first down on that 3rd down run.
They're going to mark it at the 21, so that is a first down, Brett. Needed 9, got 10. And I'll tell you what, He's a big load to handle there on the defensive end when you're dealing with defensive backs and things like that. Ellison, a standout linebacker, so he brings a certain physicality when it comes to running the football, Brett.
1st and 10. He's got weapons in the passing game, though, too. We've been impressed with the development of Carter Howard and Aaron Cullen throughout the season. Hunter Spranger's a nice-looking tight end. Does a lot of the dirty work on the line as that extra lineman now. Plu looking for some space. Hey, Ricardo, speaking of Hunter Sprangers, I want to give a shout-out to Grandma Mickey Lamers.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
Hunter Spranger's grandma, and she delivered a nice batch of Kimberly cookies for us, Ricardo.
Very nice.
So we appreciate that, Grandma Mickey, and I haven't had a chance to dig into one yet, but I'm going to. She is also famous for her angel food, candy, and chocolates. Ricardo, she said she'll make us some when Hunter comes on the round table again.
Gotcha. He's a standout thrower on the track team. We had him on last year when we had all those great throwers on.
Yep.
Heading to the state meet.
Good kid. So Ellison looking down and just some miscommunication.
Yeah, timing play.
Yep.
It was off a little bit. But, Brett, this brings up a 3rd and 8 at the 19. So you talked about it being a 4-down thing. Now, I think with Maddox Hermes, do you play a little bit more conservatively if you don't get it here?
Yeah, I think he's got a leg at this distance to punch it through. And Ricardo, actually no wind right now.
Yes.
So it's a nice, while it's cold and crisp, it's thankfully not windy, which would make it even worse out tonight, especially since it just went from summer to early winter.
That's right, it did. 80 degrees on Monday or Tuesday? I can't remember.
The short streak has been snapped, by the way, for those keeping track at home. Ellison looking to his left on this 3rd down
Wide
throw.
open.
He's
Wide
got
open.
Carter Howard, and it's a touchdown. 19-yard touchdown pass from Ellison to Howard. Ricardo, you called it. He was wide open, and Ellison just dropped it right in the old breadbasket.
Well, Brett, you saw that play develop. I know perhaps you weren't able to see that on the screen, but sitting up here in the press box, you saw the great corner route there by Howard. A lot of space over there in that corner of the end zone, Brett. And you said it. Ellison just put it beautifully right in the basket.
So first strike of the game comes from Kimberly as Maddox Hermes now in for the PAT to try to make this a 7-0 start for the Papermakers. Maddox Hermes booms it through, and as we look at our Cellcom and Piggly Wiggly scoreboard, Kimberly up 7-0 with 7:53 to play. You can see Carter Howard talking to Ryan Hinsky, the longtime assistant coach.
Receivers coach.
Chad Michaelwitz there, the head coach as well. So Howard, he had a big 88-yard kickoff return for a score last week and now comes up with a 19-yard catch by Braden Ellison to get this game started.
Updating my Twitter, you can follow me at Ricardo DeLeon, DELIAN. Also, follow Brett at PC Brettsy, Rosie at Middle Rosie, and Brett, it's 7-7 between Beaver Dam and Kokana.
Ooh, Beaver Dam's no joke, right?
No, they got an offense and a quarterback, I'll tell you that right now.
That might be a high-scoring game.
Our buddy Wade Bates, or my buddy, I should say, I've known him for a long time Fond du Lac radio guy. Now he's over in Beaver Dam.
Good guy.
And, yeah, he's on my Facebook, so I see a lot of updates from Beaver Dam, and that's a very good team there, Brett.
Yeah. Well, Ricardo, let's we'll get our first crack at the right where they're shooting fireworks already across
I saw
the way.
That. Yes, they are.
That's a little. Is that a touchdown? That must be somebody maybe watching the stream at some house nearby, but shooting fireworks after that touchdown here at Kimberly. But our first look now at this Neenah offense and a chance for the Rockets to respond here early. We'll see how they come out as we await kickoff. Back to receive. You have, let's see. Looks like number 9 is that Dre Hannon and number 14, Matthias Charles. That's Charles with it, looking for some space. Not much there. Brought down by Landon Van Offeren, the senior. And the Rockets will be at, what, about the 22, 23-yard line?
Well, let me tell you, Brett, again, thank you to Dan Cohn and Jim Ascola for updating us on these scores. Edgar 6, Shiocton 0. Now, Brett, that's a D7 game. I should say Edgar 8, Shiocton 0. Bayport 7, Sheboygan North 0.
Okay.
Division 1
Bayport
second round
should win
game.
that one handily. Yeah.
Fox Valley Lutheran 7, Medford 0, Brett.
Yeah.
That's a D3 game. Now we know FVL's defense something that has been struggling, but their offense can score points.
No doubt about it. So can this offense. The Rockets on the field for the first time. Grant Dean with a handoff, looking for some space. Nothing there. And that was number 49 on the tackle, Trent Dunk, the junior linebacker, 6'1", 205 pounds, getting through and bringing down Dean. Loss of a yard or two on that play.
This Kimberly defense a little underrated, I think, because I think it's typical that when you look at teams, you always look at the offense first, right? But not for this team. This team's defense has been particularly strong.
Yeah, they got a great front. Van Evenhoven. Oh, tough. I think that'll be incomplete. Benny Kiefer was the defensive back there. That was Ashton Van Beek, the sophomore. Remember, he quarterbacked much of the season last year when Evan Van Evenhoven was out and did a great job as a freshman.
And I'm expecting him to be the quarterback next year, Brett, as a junior.
No doubt about it with all that experience. But Benny Kiefer, the senior defensive back there. And now what you don't want if you're the Rockets, Ricardo, you're playing behind the sticks, 3rd and 12 coming up. But you're right about Kimberly, Ricardo, certainly one of the best defensive lines, right, in the state of Wisconsin. Handoff, or no, I guess not. Van Evenhoven running, looking for some room. He's being chased, nowhere to go. Dropped down by Tyler Williamson, number 55, the senior linebacker, getting back there and doing what you have to do, right? Wrapping up around the waist, making sure Van Evenhoven, who's a tremendously fast athlete, he wasn't going to escape that tackle from Williamson.
Tough first series for Neenah, Brett. Now, and I don't want to make this more than what it is, but you have a chance here if you're Kimberly to go up by 2 scores.
Well, and not only that, Ricardo, but look where field position is going to be. Look at Carter Howard at his own 45. So we'll see what kind of a punt we have. Ooh, some pressure that I think distorted that punt. So that's not a bad kick considering there was pressure in the punter's face. Rolls to about the 47-yard line, I think, 47, 48-yard line, but great field position for the Papermakers here for their second offensive series.
Yeah, right at the 48. Brett, 7-0 lead for Winneconne over Xavier. Again, that's the D4 second-round game.
Interesting game, right? For Winneconne. It's going to take an effort to slow those guys down. Ooh. I saw the quote by Dave Hinkins, the longtime Xavier coach. He said that the Schaefer kid, right, one of the best players he's coached against in his 20-plus years as being the head coach at Xavier. That's a high compliment.
Wrightstown leading Southern Door, Brett, 7-0.
Tigers pretty heavy favorite to get to state in Division 5. Ellefson takes a snap, looking for some room, dancing around, gets in Neenah territory, almost escapes, and finally brought down.
You're right about the patience there, Brett. Doing a good job picking his way through.
4th time and the 3rd straight season these two Fox Valley Association rivals will meet in the playoffs. Kimberly has won the previous 4 matchups, but Ricardo, 3 of those games, 7 points or less, right? 2018, Kimberly wins 7-3. 2022, that was a second-round game in 18, and in 2022, Kimberly won that one 29-28, and then last year in a state quarterfinal game, 14-7. Papermakers winning that game. So these have typically and historically been very close games. Ellefson trying to dance around. Good job by that Neenah defense, just bottling it up and nowhere for Ellefson to go. Good defense by the Rockets there.
4 carries, 25 yards for Ellefson there, Brett. But, yeah, the Neenah defense being disciplined there, not letting him try to find any other angles out. Kind of concentrated him right in the middle, and that was a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 3, Brett, at the 45 of Neenah. Trying to keep you up on some of these other scores. And just in case you're interested in statewide scores, Auburndale 7, Bonduelle 7.
Keegan Plew next to Ellefson as Ellefson awaits the snap here in this 3rd down call. Ellefson high snap and slings it over to Howard, and I think he's got the first down. Yeah, he does. Number 6, Zane Schmidt there immediately, but just a nice route, Ricardo, and really just designed, right, a 3rd down play. You just want to move the chains on that throw. Ball at the 38. Yeah,
Ellefson early on here, 2 for 3 for 26 yards. But that's just a quick timing play, Brett, and a nice connection there between the two. Extends his drive. First down and 10 at the 38 of Neenah.
Just checking out the YouTube chat, Ricardo. Hank DeWild, our friend. Muskego up 7-0 over Franklin.
Okay.
That's going to be a tight game, I think.
Yes, I agree.
Direct snap to Doucette, looking for some room. Not much there. And I think let's give credit to number 90 for the Rockets, Levi Boivin. I hope I'm saying that right. A sophomore linebacker getting in and kind of blowing that up. Might be Boivin, maybe. Is
Edgar now up over Shiocton, 14-0.
Edgar Schatz.
The Wildcats.
Yep.
It's a tough matchup for Shiocton. I know Shiocton has a lot of pride there, but boy, that's a whole different animal. I think they knocked off Iola, big upset, but Edgar's a whole other level of football.
Plu now in the Wildcat, waiting for the direct snap. Ooh, high snap, does a good job.
Look at that.
Oh, he almost breaks free. Boy, Grant Dean, one of the first ones there. Boy, Plu took a pretty good shot on that run. But now you're third and short, ball at the 30-yard line.
2 carries, 9 yards for Plu. This three-headed, I should say four-headed animal that Kimberly has, Brett, with the 3 running backs, and obviously Ellefson. It's very difficult for Neenah to concentrate on one guy.
Well, what's your call here? You got both receivers now, Howard and Cullen far side. Cullen, or I should say Howard in the slot. Ellefson waiting for the snap, and I think he's just going to tuck it in and run behind his fullback, trying to get some space. Number 33, the fullback, John Hansen, the senior, and they got the first down on that run.
Ellefson, 5 carries, 29 yards. Nice night for him thus far, along with the touchdown pass. Again, another long drive here by Kimberly, Brett. This is a 7th play of the drive.
Yeah, you see clock ticking near the 2-minute mark already here in this opening quarter. Ellefson, play fake to Doucette over the middle, and it's intercepted. It's intercepted. That's number 6 with the pick, Ricardo. Zane Schmidt, the senior cornerback. It was deflected off the fingertips, didn't catch who the receiver was.
Hunter Sprangers.
And it was just maybe a little high, couldn't really tell, but Schmidt, Johnny on the spot, and a big turnover. You were talking about that before we started, right? Who wins the turnover battle right now? Neenah's up 1-0 in takeaways, and now the Rockets ball at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, and if you're Kimberly, this could be a 14-point swing, potential 14-point swing, if Neenah's able to score on this. But against that Kimberly defense, played very well in that first series, Brett. We'll see what they bring on this one.
Yeah, let's see if the Rockets can take advantage. There's Grant Dean, a home run threat every time, trying to slip through, and a good start to this drive. Ball will be at or near the 20-yard line. Well, what a career for Grant Dean so far, right? The University of Wisconsin recruit. Well, how about last year? Almost 1,800 yards rushing, 25 touchdowns, 59 tackles, and 2 picks. Second team All-State by the Associated Press. And that's just, the overall. We didn't even get into the punt returns, kick returns, everything that he can do for this Rockets team. There's a carry by Dean, 3rd down coming up. He was first team All-State by the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association. Ricardo, your player of the year in the Post-Crescent.
Yes.
Comes into tonight's game, 962 yards, 15 touchdowns in 9 games. His career totals, 32-47 rushing, 43 touchdowns. And he has 52 career touchdowns between rushing, receiving, kick returns, and punt returns. I mean, he can do it all. That Van Evenhoven,
yeah,
nothing there at all. That defensive front, Ellefson helping out as well. And here comes the punt team for Steve Young's Neenah Rockets. So Kimberly gets the hold. But Grant Dean career 3,247 rushing yards coming into tonight's game. Dean with 17 touchdowns this season, 15 rushing, 1 receiving, and 1 kick return.
Some quick scores here. Bayport up over Sheboygan North, 21-0.
Oof.
Kaukauna 14, Beaver Dam 7. Fox Bay Lutheran, that score is 7-6 now over Medford. Oh, and Carter Howard's going to let that one bounce. And, boy, that takes a nice Neenah bounce down to, what, the 26, Brett? Woo.
And the punt is down on the Kimberly 26-yard line. We're looking at 1st and 10 Papermakers.
That's that old turf bounce, Ricardo.
Yeah. See what the Papermakers have on their third offensive series.
Nine seconds to go in this opening quarter, so one more play here, presumably, as that's Marcus Doucette in the Wildcat waiting for the direct snap. Whoa, high snap!
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy is right, and Doucette somehow picks it up. And, oh, he fumbles it! And the Rockets get it back! At the Kimberly 15-yard line. Wow! So a couple of miscues on that play. The high snap, Doucette able to get it back. I suppose at that point, Ricardo, you maybe just want to fall on it, but he had a nice bounce.
Yeah, he had a little opening there.
And
to
had
get
a
some
little
yards
opening,
back.
but maybe just somebody just got a hand on the football, knocked it loose. But now 2 turnovers for Kimberly.
On 2 consecutive plays.
When
does that happen?
Look at this field position now for the Rockets, trying to capitalize on this turnover. Final play of the quarter coming up.
Timeout,
and a
Neenah.
timeout, Neenah.
Timeout, Neenah.
Amherst leading Stratford 7-0. That's Dustin Reeves helping out with that. So let's take a look at some of maybe these other scores that we're getting from our guys. Josh Young, Keel 0, Kiwani 0. Thank you, gentlemen. Well, now it's Keel 7, Kiwani nothing. Okay.
Probably setting up, looking like a Wrightstown Kiel state quarterfinal next week in Wrightstown. That'd be a great game. Again, I know I said it on the interception, but your turnovers, right? It's going to be critical on a night like tonight, where we anticipate this is going to be a close game.
Well, Brett, you talked about the ball maybe being a little slick, remember?
Yeah,
with the cold weather.
Little cold out, or definitely the coldest night of the season. So Van Evenhoven waiting for the snap. Claps his hands, and he's just going to keep it. Whoa. Got to credit to Eli Jansen, the junior defensive end, Ricardo, getting in there and kind of blowing that play up. No gain, and that's how this first quarter comes to an end. So as we look at our Cellcom and Piggly Wiggly scoreboard, 12 minutes in the books here at Papermaker Stadium. Kimberly up 7-0 in this WIAA Division I second round matchup.
Going to update the Twitter here. Again, follow me at Ricardo DeLeon, D-E-L-I-A-N. Brett's at PC Brett C. Rosie's at Metal Rosie.
Folks, we have a digital subscription deal going on. $1 for 6 months gets you full unlimited digital access on your desktop, tablet, and mobile devices every day. Any of our USA Today Network Wisconsin sites, including the Post Crescent. So sign up, would you please? You can find more information on any of our websites. $1 for 6 months. You can't go wrong. And the plan for us is to be back in action next Friday night for a state quarterfinal matchup somewhere that I will announce on my Twitter account or X account. So please give me a follow at PC Brettsy. We'll go live somewhere next Friday night at 6:45 p.m. You can always access our previous game of the week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. That's a little toss to Dean, still on his feet near the goal line. That's a first down run, Ricardo, to open the second quarter.
It's a nice play, Brett. Van Evenhoven showing a lot of discipline there. Tossing that option over to Dean at the last second, and Dean able to take it down. Where are they marking this? the 2. So that's a 13-yard gain for Dean.
So 1st and goal, Rockets trying to turn that high snap and then fumble into a touchdown here early in the second quarter. Who's going to get it, Ricardo? Dean or is Van Evenhoven going to keep it? Let's see what happens here. Van Evenhoven's just going to tuck it in. He's got some space.
Got in there.
And he is in for the 2-yard score. The Rockets answer. 2-yard touchdown run by Evan Van Evenhoven. Taking advantage of the turnover.
No, that wasn't no tricks there. That was just right off the left side, Brett. Van Evenhoven having a strong season. Gets that ball in, really makes Kimberly pay for that turnover, Brett. What's going on here, BC?
Well, Van Evenhoven tried to run a 2-point play, and he got stopped. That's interesting. So the Papermaker's ready for that, and 2-point conversion try no good. Our Cellcom Piggly Wiggly scoreboard shows the Papermaker still on front, 7-6.
So the conversion run fails. Again, I'm updating my Twitter. You can follow me at Ricardo DeLeon, D-E-L-I-A-N. Brett is at PC Brettsy. Rosie is at Metal Rosie.
Ricardo, I see Beaver Dam has tied Kaukauna.
Okay.
So that is going to be a shootout, it would appear, right? And Winneconne over Xavier, 7-6. So Papermakers maintain the lead. It was kind of interesting how that was set up, right, Ricardo? I guess I always thought it was one of those where then they'll just kind of go in their usual formation, right, and just kick the PAT. But Neenah trying to squeeze one over the goal line for a 2-point conversion try, but the Papermakers ready for it. And now we're ready for the kickoff here. Early second quarter, second round game. Carter Howard, and it's going to be at the 10. Howard looking for some space. Good tackle there by number 22 for the Rockets. That's Jonah Rittner, the junior.
Jonah Rittner on the tackle.
So we'll see how Kimberly reacts to this, Brett. Their answer.
Well, can they have a clean drive, right? No mistakes.
Right.
Back-to-back drives, right? Interception, and then the high snap, fumble. Defense was able to hold the Rockets on that first one, but the second one, Neenah turned that turnover into 6 points. Here we go. Keegan Plew waiting for it, and he's going to run. And wrapped up. Luke Young. Luke Young came up with a football. I think Plew was down. Also number 12 looked like Henry St. Clair, the junior defensive lineman. One of those players in on the tackle as well. Very talented defensive player for Steve Young's Neenah Rockets. Ellefson's turn to take the snap, the regular quarterback. He's going to fire it over. Oh, and just dropped. That was number 11, Aiden Lom. And here you go, 3rd and long, and a chance for Ricardo for the Rockets to get off the field quickly.
Now that throw was low, no doubt about it, but I'm sure if you talk to Lom, he felt he probably should have caught that one.
Ellefson in quarterback as Doucette races out, just a low throw, and 3 and out. The Rockets hold. There's nothing doing there, Ricardo, in the passing game, and now the Rockets should get pretty good field position here with Grant Dean back to receive this punt. And if you're punting, the last thing you want to do is give this kid, right, any sort of space. You're going to have to try to angle this towards the boundary to make sure that if he does field it, that you got an extra defender out there with that sideline.
West Appear leading Sun Prairie East 10-7. Wrightstown now up over Southern Doorbred 14-0.
Hermes. High punt. Yep, he's definitely coming towards the sideline, and here you go.
Nice punt. That was a good punt.
A very good punt, but what do we call this now?
Triangulation.
Triangulation. I'm not sure where they'll mark this, but the official starting at the 30. Let's see where he wants to stop. Right at the 35-yard line.
Nice punt.
The Kimberly fans, they don't like that spot.
Oh, no. Are you sure that's
Or
Kimberly?
was that the Neenah fans? Oh, yeah, maybe it's the Neenah fans
No,
across.
that was a pretty good punt.
Yeah, you're right. That is the Neenah fans across the
That's,
way. They don't like the spot.
Yeah, that's a 41-yard punt.
It was a good punt, and exactly what you have to do. You can't let Grant Dean just have a free return on a punt. So Rockets now a chance to take the lead here as Van Evenhoven waiting for the snap. And he hands it off to Dean and just bottled up Grant Dean. Nowhere to go. Be some tough sledding for Grant Dean for sure. Looking at last year's game, that was a 14-7 victory by Kimberly in a state quarterfinal, Ricardo.
Yep.
Braden Ellefson's 2-yard run in the fourth quarter, that broke a 7-7 tie. But Grant Dean, he rushed for 113 yards that night in the playoffs, but it was on 31 carries. So 3.6 yards per carry average. Luke Young had 7 catches for 68 yards, but that's kind of the recipe, right? Let him get his carries, but just kind of minimize that damage. Easier said than done as Van Evenhoven drops back, lets one over the middle, nearly intercepted. That was number 2, Mikey Wilds, the senior defensive back, Ricardo. Nearly coming down with that one.
Yeah, and he's been playing very well the second half of the season here. I'll tell you what, Brett, you're talking about Dean, getting the 100 yards on 30-something carries. He has 5 carries for 19 yards right now.
Okay.
3rd and long for the Rockets.
Well, let's see what they want to do here. Evan Van Evenhoven, Ricardo, he's really, I think, become a pretty
capable passer.
Very good passing quarterback, and we're going to have a false start.
Yeah.
So 5 yards back, 3rd and 10 becomes 3rd and 15. Hey, Ricardo, I want to give a quick shout-out. I mentioned Ryan McGinnis, the athletic director here at Kimberly, but I also want to shout out to Mike Elkin, the athletic director at Neenah High School, and wish Mike good luck. Iowa Hawkeyes, his son Luke is the long snapper for the Hawkeyes. Big game coming up tomorrow against the Badgers down in Iowa City.
There you go.
Mike's down there and then getting ready to watch that big Iowa-Wisconsin game, and I'm sure he's listening to us here tonight as well. But good luck to his Hawkeyes. Sorry, Badger fans, but good luck to his Hawkeyes tomorrow down in Iowa City. Should be a great atmosphere for that one.
Brett, another score here. Couple, Slinger 7, Wauwatosa East 0. Arrowhead 8, Verona 7.
Whoa.
Verona was kind of everyone's darling besides Franklin.
Remember, though, strength of conference, right? Yeah. Arrowhead in the Classic 8, Verona in the Big 8, I believe.
Yep.
So here you go, 3rd and 15 for Van Evenhoven waiting for the snap. Drops back,
Look
pressure
out.
in his face. Ellison hit him. The ball is caught. What a catch. What a catch by Van Beek. Van Evenhoven had to get rid of it. Ellefson was in his face. He lofts it up and lets Van Beek make the play. The sophomore comes down with it on 3rd and 15. Ball at the 39-yard line.
Brett, unfortunately, the Kimberly defensive back fell. That was Chris Tao. And I think he was there, but towards the end there just kind of lost his footing and fell to the ground. That opened up kind of like the ability for Van Beek just to make that catch unhindered.
Heck of a catch for Ricardo. How about that throw with Ellefson in Van Evenhoven's face? showing good strength to get it downfield. Van Evenhoven fakes the throw. Now he's off trying to get through and picks up maybe 3 or, well, maybe 2. What a throw, though, that was. I mean, he was split second from just getting plastered. Instead, a huge pickup on 3rd and 15. 2-yard run for Van Evenhoven as the clock continues to run here in the second quarter.
Brett,
go ahead.
That was only Van Evenhoven's second pass of the game.
Yeah, not a big passing team by any stretch, but we said it. He's definitely a capable passer, and he's really developed that part of his game over the seasons. Oh, jeez. There's a big-time hit there. That's number 98. That's Tyler Hinn, the junior defensive lineman, bringing down Van Evenhoven. And now a 3rd and 8 coming up for the Rockets here. Boy, there's some hard hitting on the field tonight in this second-round game, rivalry game. It's always fun when Neenah and Kimberly get together, regardless of the sport. They'll give Van Evenhoven a yard on that run. Is this 4-down territory, Ricardo? It's got to be, right? Or do you play field position, maybe?
That's a good question. I'm more conservative on that, but
yeah, maybe it's just a little too far yet to be playing that 4-down game. We'll see, though, and we're going to get a timeout for the Rockets here. That's their second of the half, 1 remaining.
So Kaukauna now up 21-13 over Beaver Dam.
That's going to go back and forth, huh?
Yeah, so Dustin Reese, thank you for that. Hey, listen, he also updates this. Top-seeded Franklin now trailing Muskego 14-0. We talked about that, Brett, didn't we?
Strength of conference.
That Muskego, that could be an upset. I don't even want to call it an upset because Muskego plays in that great conference.
Ricardo, it's tough to call upsets these days with the seeding being out of whack, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Neenah and Kimberly playing in a second-round game? That should be a little bit later on in the playoffs, and I think a Muskego-Franklin should be a little bit later in the playoffs as well.
Yeah.
We saw Muskego in Week 1. We streamed that game, Neenah going down to Muskego losing, but just a dominant first half for the Rockets, a dominant second half for the Warriors. They're a legit team, no doubt about it. 3rd down as Van Evenhoven waits for the snap. 3rd and 7. And he's going to keep it, fakes the handoff, somehow makes a tackler miss. Does he get the first? He's going to be close. He does get it, I believe.
Was that Grant Dean?
And it is Grant Dean. Ricardo, he gets we'll call it an 8-yard run, moves the sticks. Good hard run. Elusive, right? You think you got him, and he's just got that athleticism and just sneaks through. He got that little wiggle, Ricardo.
He does. You know, we're updating that Franklin-Muskego match. That's big because if Muskego holds on to win, Brett, they're going to have to travel to either to the winner of this game.
Yeah, either here or Neenah next week.
For the quarterfinal.
Yeah. Dean looking for some space. Pushing the pile. And that's going to be down at about the 22-yard line, Ricardo. The Rockets on the move here.
7 carries, 35 yards now for Grant Dean. He's slowly getting going here, Brett. His last 2 runs, 8 and 7 yards.
Got to keep feeding him, right?
Got to feed the beast.
Third straight season these two teams have met in the playoffs. Dean has it, bottled up quickly. That's what's so tough, Ricardo, I think, when you got 2 dynamic athletes like Van Evenhoven and Dean. How do you, as a defense, stay patient, stay disciplined, because you look like Dean's going to take the handoff, and then all of a sudden at the last second, Van Evenhoven can rip it away and then find some yards for himself. So very tough to stay patient and disciplined when you're playing 2 outstanding athletes like Van Evenhoven and Grant Dean. Ball at the 21-yard line, 3rd down coming up. Van Evenhoven going to keep it. No, it's strung out. Well done by the Papermakers. Eli Jansen, the one to bring Van Evenhoven down, but Ricardo, that defense just strung it out. There was just no gaps. They really just closed out all gaps. Now 4th down. What does Steve Young want to do?
They've really kind of shut down Van Beek, Brett. He has 7 carries for -2 yards.
Van Evenhoven?
Yeah, Van Evenhoven.
Yeah. Rockets will go for it here, 4th and 5.
Big play right now, Brett.
Snap, Van Evenhoven, trying to find something, looking over to a receiver, and he caught it! And it's near the goal line. Is he in? I think he's just shy, but what a throw and catch. Ricardo, I believe that's number 89. Levi Boivin, the sophomore tight end.
We've seen him have some big catches this season, Brett. None maybe bigger than that one. Takes it all the way down to the 1.
Wow. Again, with pressure, Van Evenhoven delivering a beautiful pass and a nice catch.
Brett, again, that was pretty good coverage.
Yeah.
It's just, Boivin is just a matchup problem because of his size.
Van Evenhoven now first and goal at the 1. He finds the hole, and he's in. A 1-yard touchdown run, and the Rockets now in front in the second quarter.
Was that Dean?
That was Van Evenhoven.
Okay.
His second touchdown of the night.
11-play drive, Brett, that went 65 yards.
So Van Evenhoven, Ricardo making some plays with his leg, or his arm, I should say. And Jack Clunt in for the PAT. And that one sails through with 4:06 to play in the second quarter. We look at our Cellcom Piggly Wiggly scoreboard. Rockets in front 13-7 in this Division I second round game.
Updating my Twitter, you can follow me at Ricardo DeLeon, DELIAN. Don't forget about Brett, PC Brettsy, and Rosie at Metal Rosie. Brett, I got to put on the gloves. I'm getting a little cold here, my friend.
Folks, anybody on chat or listening, you have my number to text, or even on Twitter at PC Brettsy. Are we saying, is it Boivin or Boivin? Let us know if you can on that pronunciation. He's a good-looking player. Just a sophomore, 6'2", 205 pounds. I got pretty much everybody else's name pronunciation, but I guess I missed that one, so we apologize if we're saying it wrong. But let us know if you wouldn't mind. Well, let's see what the Papermakers can do down 13-7. Remember, this was a high-scoring game the last time these two teams faced. A 29-28 Neenah win.
Brett, Wrightstown up 21-0 over Southern Door. Kiel up 21-0 over Kewanee. Those two will meet in the next round if these scores hold true. At Wrightstown, I think.
Yeah. There's the kick. Carter Howard, I should say, right at the 10, looking for some space, coming towards us, and good pursuit by the Rockets. And right now, Ricardo, momentum on Neenah's side.
Four minutes left. Plenty of time for Kimberly to kind of put together a drive here, Brett. I'll tell you what, though, that interception really turned things around. The Ellefson one down here in the red zone. And it's kind of, I don't want to say it's been all Neenah from there, but Neenah has definitely had the decided advantage.
Well, that high snap, right, that sailed,
too.
That was, I think, really what kind of turned this game around, and then the fumble, the subsequent fumble on that. Now there's a direct snap to Plu, looking for some space. Number 19, Hunter Weinke, the junior linebacker, with the tackle.
19 Hunter Weinke on the tackle. In a 6 to the 27-yard line. 2nd and 4 for the Makers.
Brings up a 2nd and 4. 4 carries, 17 yards for Plu.
Doucette trying to find some running room, and Ricardo, here comes a big third down already. There's just not a whole lot of running room right now for the Papermakers.
It's a third and a short 3.
I feel like, Ricardo, that Kimberly's going to have to kind of loosen things up and get that passing game going a little bit. They got capable receivers without a doubt. Let's see if Ellefson can get the passing game going here on a big third down. 3rd and 3 for Kimberly. Can the Rockets get off the field quickly again? Ellefson going to sling it over. There's a first down pitch and catch, really wide open. Grant Dean and a bunch of others all over Howard, but not before Howard gets the first down pickup.
9-yard gain, Brett. They needed 3, so it's good to see the Papermakers, if you're a Papermaker fan, getting that first down and keeping the drive going.
Yeah, clock running here, but Kimberly with all 3 timeouts.
First down and 10. 37-yard line for Kimberly.
A little fake, and Ellefson trying to get in space. And does, and near the first down, might have gotten it. And just as importantly, Ricardo gets out of bounds to stop the clock with 2:07 to play. That was a good little misdirection, kind of ball fake there, right? Almost like a pass fake in basketball, and then just took off.
Yeah, 9-yard gain brings up a second and short.
Thank you, Crystal. It's Bovin. So Levi Bovin, thank you. And Levi, that was a heck of a catch for you, young man, the sophomore. If you happen to watch the replay later tonight, Plew with it. He's got the first down, and near midfield, clock will stop to reset the chains. Maddox Hermes, if you're wondering about kickers, very good strong leg for the Papermakers if they can get into field goal position. But a little ways to go here. Ball at the 49-yard line, we'll call it. Clock running here as Kimberly now trots to the line. Ellefson, he's looking to his right and toss. Nice throw. Had to wait a little bit, but throwed some trust. That's Aaron Cullen with the catch.
I've been kind of waiting for Aaron Cullen to get kind of involved in the offense here, Brett. Very good athlete.
Was that Cullen in that previous reception too? That had the on this drive, I believe.
No, that was Carter Howard. On the previous drive?
No, I'm sorry, on this drive.
No. It was.
Did Cullen have an earlier
Howard.
catch? Okay. And now Ellefson, he's got time. He's thinking about it. No, he's going to tuck it in. It was well covered, but he's off to the races, trying to get something, and gets a few more out of that. So a good run and gets out of bounds. I think that will be another first down with 55 seconds to play.
Yeah, it'll be right at the 30, Brett. Needed 10, got 11. So nice drive put together here by the Papermakers. 7 carries, 45 yards I have for Ellefson, who, by the way, is leading our Football Player of the Year poll.
I saw it, boy. A lot of interest in that poll, I've noticed.
Yeah, more than 45,000. It might be 50,000 now votes. You can find that on postcrescent.com.
I think I mentioned to you, Mike Sherry, I think at the end of the season I should put all of our plays of the game in one file and say what was the season play of the game.
I like that idea.
Huh?
Good job, Brett.
Ellefson going for it.
Got him.
High toss. Oh!
Flag on the field.
That was Carter Howard. Where's the flag? Is that on the far side there?
Are they talking to the Neenah folks? That might be on Kimberly.
It's offsides on the Rockets.
I was mistaken. So that was a free play, Brett.
Oh, it's a sideline warning is what that is called. A sideline infraction warning, according to the announcement up here in the press box. So
that's a warning. So okay.
So it's just 2nd and 10. Okay. Again, all 3 timeouts remaining for the Papermakers. Ellefson waiting for it. Now he's looking to his left. Whoa. That was Cullen looking for it. So 3rd and 10 here with 46 seconds to go.
Yeah, given the time, Brett, this is 4-down territory.
Yeah.
And Kimberly has all 3 of its timeouts.
Ellefson still in at quarterback. 3 receivers far side.
Oh.
And I think we're going to get a timeout for the Papermakers. You see Chad Michaelwitz walking out, talking to his offense here in a critical 3rd down play with 45 seconds to go. Again, appreciate everybody checking us out tonight here on our USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel. Second round game next week, already the state quarterfinals. Ricardo, you have a busy week coming up. You have state volleyball at the Resch Center, right? Up at Schwabenon. Maybe both Kimberly teams could be
Yeah, I'll be volleyball boy. Well, we're gonna have it's Kimberly and Appleton North boys. They play in the sectional final, so we're gonna have one of those 2 teams there.
Kimberly
and they start
girls
play on Wednesday, Brett.
Well, why? That's kind of strange on a Wednesday night.
I think they wanted so that the volleyball boys have their own championship day, which would be Friday.
Just odd that you play a high school contest on a Wednesday. Of course, the Kimberly girls playing Bayport in the sectional championship
This Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday night.
Ellefson, he's got all day long going deep downfield, and it to the back of the end zone. 4th down, and now 39 seconds to go. Kimberly will go for it, as you can see Ellefson there talking to Chad Michaelwitz, the head coach, 3rd-year head coach for Kimberly.
Medford now leading Fox Valley Lutheran 20-7. I don't know if we had this score. Kaukauna leading Beaver Dam 21-13.
So here you go, 4th down. Can this Rockets defense hold? You can hear the Rockets fans across the field. And now another timeout, it looks like.
That's going to
No,
be
it's going to be the Rockets going to burn their final timeout of the half. What do you do in a rivalry game? We kind of talked about this last week, too, with Appleton North, back-to-back weeks against Kimberly. But are there any secrets anymore? Or are there some tricks up the sleeves at this point of the season? Or you just run your stuff and trust your execution?
Good call. I'm not exactly sure how you would look at that. Brett, Muskego now 21-7 over Franklin.
Okay. Wow.
Bayport 35-6 over Sheboygan North. Notre Dame 28-7 over Port Washington. Marquette over De Pere 21-7. Now, that Muskego game, Brett, to me that illustrates how important it is to run the ball because Franklin has a standout passer. I think he leads the state in yards and maybe even touchdowns.
Yeah.
But at this time of year, passing games sometimes aren't as dynamic.
Well, right. And remember, Muskego runs that wing T offense, which is very difficult. A lot of ball deception, and it's tough to defend and get ready for. Well, we'll see. 4th down here for the Papermakers. Can they pick this up? Ellefson's got time. No, now he's flushed out. He's got to run. He's going to tuck it in, looking for some space. And he's got the 1st down. With 31 seconds to go, that'll stop the clock, and now you're easily in field goal range for Maddox Hermes. Again, great leg and no wind tonight. And another timeout, so the Papermakers with 1 timeout remaining here. But what a run, Ricardo. I know it's called yak for yards after catch, but how about yards after contact on that run, right?
Well, I saw the rail open up, and I'm like, he has a great shot at getting the yards.
Kind of dragged the defender or two a little bit even more to get that 1st down.
I have him 8 carries, 59 yards for Ellefson. So 1st down and 10 at the 16. Brett, they have more than enough time to do some, maybe run a couple plays here.
No
they
doubt.
have 1 timeout.
Yeah, I think everything's wide open in this playbook right now. You can see out of the timeout, look at here. You got Cullen and that's number 11, Aiden Lam near side. They weren't even kind of in the huddle. They're just saying, hey, we're here. Ellefson, nowhere to go, and brought down. Good job by the defense. Now clock runs. They're going to have to get to the line. Nope, that's going to be the final timeout.
Where's that being marked, BC?
Let me see where they spot it here. Just going to update our Cellcom and Piggly Wiggly scoreboard. They're going to mark it at the, let's see, that's the 15, 14. Looks like the 14-yard line.
2nd down and 8 coming up. With 22 seconds, take a couple of shots into the end zone. I don't know if they feel comfortable doing that from this part of the field. They're not inside the 10 or anything like that.
Actually, we'll make it check that 13-yard line.
Okay.
So 2nd and 7 coming up.
Ellefson, 9 carries, 62 yards. But I'll tell you this much, if you're going to do a run play or something like that, you're going to have to get up and quickly spike it.
Right.
That'll leave a 4th down play. Then you got to run out your field goal team.
Again, you can see the receivers now. The ball is at the far hash from us, right? The right hash. Look at the receivers. Well off the formation left side. So which side of the field are they going to run? Short side or wide side? Nope. Ellefson, he's looking. Now he's flushed out. Can he get out of bounds? Racing to the side. Oh, no. The clock's running, Ricardo. They're going to have to get to the line. You can see clock continuing to run. Can they get it spiked here on 3rd down? And Ellefson does. Good job by the Papermakers with 5 seconds to go, and they're going to bring out the kick team, the field goal team, to try to put a few points on the board. Ellefson, it was risky, but he had enough time, right? I think he was trying to get out of bounds, then maybe saw he had some space to possibly get that 1st down, but Rockets held. And but Ellefson, I thought Ricardo did a really nice job getting that his offense to the line of scrimmage quickly and set, right? No penalties on top of that. 24-yard field goal attempt for Maddox Hermes here. And it's blocked! And wanted a loose ball. Here we go. Oh, it's kicked. I don't think you can do that.
You can't
do that at all. It's scooped up. Is that Grant Dean racing to the end zone? But that's coming back because I think Dean kicked the ball inadvertently. But the field goal attempt was blocked. And I think that was just an unfortunate circumstance because maybe one more bounce, and if Dean scoops it up, he is gone. So waiting for, is that illegal touch? Yeah, against the Rockets.
That's halftime now.
Yep, we have reached halftime. So an eventful final play there. Field goal is blocked.
Boy, that's 3 mistakes by Kimberly, Brett. You know, the fumble, the interception, the blocked field goal.
Well, I tell you what, Ricardo, we will we'll talk about everything that we just saw over the first 24 minutes. But halftime here at Papermaker Stadium, and a quick look at our Cellcom and Piggly Wiggly scoreboard shows the Rockets leading the Papermakers 13-7 in this WIAA Division I second round playoff game. We'll take a short break here in a moment, and we'll talk more about tonight's game and everything we have coming up digitally at USA Today Network Wisconsin in just a moment.
From the moment we get up, technology is at work in our world. That's why Cellcom built a network to support big moments and small victories. It's technology with a heartbeat.
Promote your business, unite your team, or just get your name out there with help from the professionals at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Family owned and operated for over 20 years, we have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your business or organization. We can put your logo, name, or anything else you want on any article of clothing. From embroidery and screen printing to graphic design and heat press services, we've got you covered. Call today.
This. Are you ready for this? To be a champion, now to change the system. You start a revolution. This is your moment. Are you ready to fight? What do you feel? This is the time for glory, for greatness. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, we them girls. We shout it from the top, top, top. Yeah, we them girls. You know we never stop, stop, stop. And we never ever gonna back down. Yeah, we them girls. We shout it from the top, top, top. Yeah, we them girls. Yeah, yeah, we them girls. Yeah, we them girls.
Welcome back to Papermaker Stadium in Kimberly, Wisconsin. I'm Brett Christopherson with USA Today Network Wisconsin, hanging out with Ricardo Arguello and Jim Rosandick, better known to everybody out there as Rosie. And as you can see by our Cellcom and Piggly Wiggly scoreboard, Rockets leading the Papermakers 13-7 in this WIAA Division I second round showdown. Ricardo, I know you're kind of having a little snack right now to kind of sugar up and get some energy. Rosie brought in some full-size candy bars.
I saw that. I was like, man, he was giving them out at Halloween. I'm like,
I know.
what are you? This guy is like a billionaire or something, handing out the big candy bars.
Yeah, we just gave out the little
Oh, yeah.
the little single pieces, but he made me feel bad. But anyway, for your first half thought, I think first half thoughts is pretty obvious, right? Too many mistakes by the Papermakers there in the first half.
You're looking at possible 10 points that they've left out on the field there, Brett, with the interception down there in the red zone, the fumble that put basically Neenah inside their own red zone there on the botched snap, and then the subsequent fumble, and then the blocked field goal, you know, that you feel pretty good about Maddox Hermes making that.
Don't think it was his fault. I think
Oh,
it was
not at
just
all.
Too much pressure that got through.
But if
Credit the Rockets.
you're Kimberly, you got to clean those up. That just cannot happen. And if you're Neenah, they're doing a pretty good job of taking advantage of those mistakes. Now, offensively, I think they've had really one good drive. But, hey, they're up 13-7.
How about some big-time throws by Evan Van Evenhoven, too?
And, Brett, they get, for sure, and they get the ball back to start the second half.
I was going to ask who gets that ball, right? So the Rockets start the second half with the ball?
Yep.
Yeah, a couple of those throws by Van Evenhoven on that second touchdown drive, right, that he ended up scoring on the 1-yard run. Van Evenhoven with a pair of touchdown runs, 2 yards and 1 yard. Kimberly's touchdown came with 7:53 in the first quarter, a 19-yard pass from Ellefson to Carter Howard. Those 2 touchdown runs by Van Evenhoven were second quarter scores, but then that second drive in particular, boy, did he hit in pressure pressure in terms of Braden Ellefson was in his face on the first one, and the second one, heavy pressure as well when he ended up.
Boivin?
Yeah, Bovin.
Bovin.
Levi Bovin, the sophomore tight end with a fantastic catch right at the goal line. Those are big-time throws. But appreciate everybody checking us out on YouTube and Facebook and our Post Crescent website. But just checking out the live chat here, and we appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight as well, giving us some scores and all that good stuff. But Ricardo, we got a lot coming up as always. First Monday night, we're in that Monday, Wednesday, Friday kind of routine when it comes to the streams. But that's our Packers show called Clubhouse Live. It's already our 16th season. We will be celebrating show number 350 on Monday night. That takes place at the Fox Club, which is inside Neuroscience Group Field at Fox City Stadium in Grand Chute, Wisconsin, home of the Wisconsin Timber Rattlers, also the home to Clubhouse Live. I'm the co-host. Ricardo is as well. Rosie's part of the production crew. And usually we have a member of the current Green Bay Packers team joining us, but since it's the bye week after Sunday, those guys head out of town real fast. So
they're out.
When that happens, or when there's a Monday night game or a Thursday night game when the guys are unavailable for a Monday night show, we have what we call Legends Editions.
Legend.
We got a really fun one coming up Monday night. We're going to be joined by none other than Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer, former All-Pro quarterback, finished second in the MVP voting in 1989 in the NFL. The Magic Man, Don Mikowski, is going to join us. If you want to have a good time, Ricardo, this will be our third time with the Magic Man. Fantastic guest, storyteller, just a cool dude, just like he was back in the late 80s and early 90s. You got to check it out. Come in person. Admission is free. Stadium gates open at 5 o'clock. Show kicks off at 6:30. We'll also have cake, right? Because we're celebrating show number 350.
Fantastic. You had me at cake, my
yes,
friend.
you'll be there then, right?
Yep.
You have to be there.
I got to be there. It's Don Mikowski. He and I got to relive his terrible, legendary play.
Yeah, Ricardo's a Bears fan, so he reluctantly has accepted that Mikowski was
accepted it.
behind the line of scrimmage in that legendary 1989 victory over the Bears.
I want to clarify, I have forgiven him more so than anything.
You have to bring that up, maybe.
Yes.
But a lot of fun with Don Mikowski, so definitely check it out. As I said, admission is free, parking is free, great food and drinks at the Fox Club. Check it out. We're going to give away some great prizes afterwards as well, take us into the bye week. And he'll help us look back on that Packers-Lions game. Remember, he played for the Lions as well after his Packers playing days.
That's right.
So, get maybe a unique perspective from the quarterback on the current quarterback, not only Jordan Love, but Malik Willis. We'll see who plays on Sunday.
Brett, you did a good job of scheduling that. Did that just happen
to
come out
that way? To come out that
All
way.
right.
Yep.
Okay.
Just the way the schedule played out. But definitely check us out, Don Mikowski Monday. If you can't make it in person, watch it online. Any of our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites, Facebook pages. That includes Clubhouse Live and Packers News, and, of course, the USA Today Network Wisconsin YouTube channel.
Yeah, Brett, fantastic Clubhouse Live show going into its 16th season. I want to say the roundtable's on the 15th
It's
season.
all about the same time,
yeah,
right?
And I don't have an exact episode, but it's probably over 300 as well. But Varsity Roundtable, the only online high school sports talk show in the state. Brett, we may not be on for a little bit because you know what I realized?
Uh-oh.
Well, listen, we have obviously next week there's going to be no show. Now, this past week we had a lot of fun with the Little Shooters, the great cross-country team from Little Shoot, the girls team. Brett, they might win the state title. Them and Bloomer might come down to those two programs to see who wins the state title. So we had the girls on and the two boys who qualified. Great discussion. It's not often we have cross-country team runners on, Brett, but we had to have the Little Shooters on. Great. Go to postcrester.com. You should see a tab that says Varsity. Under there, you should see one that says Varsity Roundtable, right, Brett?
Yeah.
So please check it out. The thing is, next Wednesday I'll be covering volleyball because Kimberly or Appleton North boys will be playing Wednesday afternoon, late afternoon, actually. It's into the evening. So we won't have a show then. And then, Brett, I'm thinking the following week, that might be where we're going to try to shoot our Fab Five.
Oh.
Boys and girls basketball team. I have to talk to Rosie about that, but we want to get that obviously in before Thanksgiving. Want to get the shoot in before Thanksgiving. Just to give you a heads up, I haven't decided on that yet, but we might not be able to get back into the roundtable until maybe early December, and that's fine. We'll be right into the throes of basketball, and I know you love that. So please check that out. Check that out if you can. Roundtables for our past episodes as well.
Reminds me, I'm going to have to start looking ahead to some basketball games to
You
schedule
got to
here
start
pretty
doing
quick.
it, yeah.
I mean, we're November. We're probably going to do a couple girls' games around Thanksgiving time, or at least one girls' game.
Brett, I want to be inside now. I'm already done with this.
You already got your hood up and everything.
I'm freezing, man. My people, they don't like the cold.
Well,
so I'm ready. I'm ready to be inside in nice 69-degree temperatures.
Listen, I'm layered up. I've got a couple pairs of socks on. I mean, it hits quick, right? I mean, 80 degrees 2 days ago, and all of a sudden it's in the 30s here tonight. So that's a little bit of a temperature change. But, hey, a halftime score, Muskego 21, Franklin 7. That's your halftime score.
Wow.
Winner of that one takes on the winner of this one. We'll see how that plays out as well. But a fun show. And you mentioned that Little Shoot cross-country team, Ricardo. If the Mustangs girls can win the state title.
Oh, boy. Now you're putting pressure on them.
They're accepting the pressure, though.
Okay.
That would be the first, and this is hard to believe, the first WIAA team state title in Little Shoot high school history. Isn't that something? When you think about all the really good teams and athletes that have come out of Little Shoot. Of course, Little Shoot just on the other side of the river, a neighboring community of Kimberly, just a couple, 2-3 miles up the road, I guess the high school is from here. So good luck to Rudy Botts, head coach Rudy Botts, and the Mustangs. That would be great for that school. They've come close. They've had some basketball teams make it to state. Football was a state finalist. And some state semifinal runs.
State track.
Track has been really close.
Should have won. They should have won the title there. I was down there, Brett.
Track has had a couple of close calls. They had a state runner-up track team as well.
Girls volleyball.
Girls volleyball was at state recently. So yeah, that's an athletic program that has a lot of success in quite a few years. I mean, we're talking long time. And it was just a couple years ago, I think, when you talk Little Shoot, Ricardo, that they had in the fall, football won a state title, cross countries, I think, both won state titles. Then in the winter, the boys basketball team won a state title, and then I think track won a state title. It was a really good season a couple years ago. A lot of I'm sorry, not state titles, conference championships, Northeastern Conference championships. I misspoke. I'm sorry, but always just trying to get over that hump and get that first WIAA's team state title. So hopefully the Mustangs can do that. And we wish all of our runners, Ricardo, the best of luck at the Ridges. You'll be there.
Yeah, I was going to say, I will be there tomorrow. I think Neenah is ranked number 1, Brett. So I would love to see it if
On the girls' side?
On the girls' side, if Neenah girls can win a state title and Little Chute girls, Brett, you know how happy that'd make me?
That'd be
That's
great.
an easy story.
Yeah.
That's an easy story for me. When they win, easy story for me. So,
Easy
like I
story,
told the
right?
Little Shooters yesterday, hey, can you think about someone other than yourself?
Yeah.
Maybe help me out a little bit. But no, it's going to be a great night. And, Brett, here's the thing. It's going to be low 50s and sunny.
It's going to be nice.
Yeah, because believe me, I've been to some state cross-country meets where it's not good weather and that's
Yeah.
not fun.
Yes.
Hey, Brett, can I go rattle off some
Yeah,
scores
please.
here?
Go ahead.
Okay, so here's some halftime scores from around the state playoff games. Again, all second-level games. Winnicott 13, Xavier 6. These are all halftime scores, by the way. Kaukauna 28, Beaver Dam 13. Notre Dame 28, Port Washington 7. Kiel 21, Kewanee 0. Brett, Wrightstown now is leading Southern Door at the half, 35-0.
Wow.
Bonduelle leading Auburndale 21-7. That's an interesting score there. Bonduelle's a very good team, by the way. Muskego 21-7 over Franklin. Brett, you mentioned that. Coleman now leads Abbotsford 7-6. And then Racine St. Catherine's 42-0 over Delavan Darien. I think those are the ones that we have updated here. Oh, Hilbert. Brett, don't forget about Hilbert. 21-7. No, 21-13 over Lords at half. And then I think Medford is now leading Fox Valley Lutheran by a couple of scores at the half as well. So that's kind of your update.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
And thank you to Dan Cohn, who is at the office, or not at the office, but he's at home keeping track of all these live streams, Brett.
I'm trying to look out if we have a photographer here tonight. I haven't noticed.
That, I don't know.
Well, I don't know if Dan Powers or Bill Glashina, might have had to kind of rework it because we mentioned Little Chute. Well, Vice President Harris is speaking at Little Chute High School. I don't know if she's there right now or she was there. Before you got here, Ricardo, there was a U.S. Coast Guard helicopter flying over the stadium because, again, neighboring villages, Little Chute and Kimberly. So wondering if maybe one of those guys was pulled and had to go shoot that game or that event at Little Chute High School, and then maybe just make the easy drive over the Fox River and come and shoot the second half. We'll see. Or is Torque Mason down there? Maybe it's Torque Mason. I think our colleague is down here.
Are you sure? Because Bayport, or was Bayport playing on the road?
No, Bayport would be at home against Sheboygan.
That's why I would think that it's Bayport he's shooting, but.
Oh, I believe it's actually Torque Mason is here. So
okay.
There should be a photo gallery then later tonight on postgresson.com. So definitely check that out. I'm looking for Torque on the field, but I don't see him.
Maybe they reassigned him last second. He's down here already. Now he's got to go over to the Harris thing over at Little Chute.
Yeah, I don't know if that's still going on or if she is done with that event, but definitely some big dunes here in the heart of the valley is what they call it here in the Appleton area. So halftime, 3 more minutes on the scoreboard, and then next Friday, you're going to be busy, and hopefully you can join us. But we will be somewhere for a state quarterfinal game. It just depends on kind of the matchups and how everything shakes out. Maybe it's here, maybe it's Neenah, maybe we're down in Franklin. I don't know.
There is an avenue where I would be available. Kimberly boys volleyball or Appleton North volleyball would have to lose on Wednesday or Thursday, and then if Bayport beats Kimberly girls volleyball, Brett, then I would have that whole time open, my friend.
There you go. We'd love to have you join us, and if you can't, maybe we get Mike Sherry to hang out with us.
Well, I'll tell you this much. Remember, and we don't have one team mentioned on here, Brett. Freedom and Prescott, that second round game, that is tomorrow at 1 at Freedom.
Why was that changed? Because St. Croix Central came over to Freedom last week? I mean, that's basically the same type of drive, right?
I don't know. But Prescott somehow got them to agree to play it at 1 o'clock on Saturday.
I don't know. I suppose they're thinking didn't want to make that drive back in the dark. But
well, here's a couple other scores. Not really surprising here. Bayport whipping up on Sheboygan North, 35-6 at the half. West of Pier 24, Sun Prairie East 14. That's a big game there, Brett. Cedar Grove, Belgium, 34. Howards Grove, 13. Grafton, 17. Plymouth, 14. Again, these are all halftime scores. Lake Country Lutheran. Oh, remember Winnebago Lutheran knocked off the Ledgers and Bob Highland last week? Well, that storybook season's nearly over now. Lake Country Lutheran leading them 28-0 at the half. Milwaukee Marquette, Brett. Remember Milwaukee Marquette, defending D1 state champs. They're up 28-7 over De Pere.
No surprise there. Hilltoppers look pretty good again. You know that Winnebago Lutheran St. Mary's Springs game was interesting because the Ledgers beat WLA pretty handily in the regular season, I believe. So.
Yeah, but I heard from the KFIZ guy that the Ledgers were just decimated with injuries.
Oh, okay.
So they were missing at least 7 or 8 starters on offense, I believe.
That makes a difference then, doesn't it?
Well, I should say on both sides of the ball, because Springs is too small. They play everybody both ends of the ball. Reedsburg, Brett, look at this. Here's a interesting score. Reedsburg 13, Waukesha Catholic Memorial 7.
Wow. Okay.
That is a shocking score a little bit. Good job again, Dan Cohn and Jim Oscola helping us out with some of these scores. They've been great all year for us. They do those roundups that you read Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. These are the guys that are doing all that hard work, getting that information together, putting it in a roundup form for all of our readers. I know they appreciate it. Brett, week in, week out, that's one of our most read things.
Yeah.
So kudos to you guys for helping us out.
No doubt about it. Third quarter about to get underway here at Papermaker Stadium. Halftime is over. Both teams have met with their coaching staffs, and I'm guessing if you're Chad Michaelwitz on the Kimberly side, Ricardo, like we said right as halftime started, let's clean things up, right?
Yes, and
what about Steve Young and the Rockets? So what's the message there?
Hey, let's make something happen on this first drive, right? Put Kimberly in the unusual position of having to play catch-up by more than 10 points down, right?
No doubt about it. Well, again, you said it. Who takes care of the football? And right now, Rockets with a pair of turnovers. And one of those was turned into a touchdown by the Rockets that gave them the lead. So here we go, second half about to start.
Also, if you're the Rockets, Brett, no turnovers, right? Be wary of that. You don't need anything if you're the Rockets and Rocket fans to jumpstart the Papermakers.
Van Beek on the return, not much there. Good coverage by the Papermakers, and here we go.
Medford leading Fox Bay Lutheran. Start of the third quarter, 20-7. Medford, that's way up there. Where is that, Brett?
Medford is that's north of Wausau, right?
Oh, is it? Okay. That's a little bit of a drive, too.
On the mark at the Rocket 21-yard line, first and 10, Neenah.
So here we go. First play of the second half. Rockets open with the football, up 13-7. Van Beek, or sorry, the Van Evenhoven, I'm sorry, to Van Beek.
Short gain, picked up to the 25, huh?
Ball at the 25, so about a 4-yard pickup, 2nd and 6 coming up.
6 for the Rockets.
Van Beek, as I mentioned, much of last season as the starting quarterback for the Rockets. Remember Evan Van Evenhoven, kind of an injury-plagued season. Van Evenhoven now kind of setting up for that option pitch. Ellefson with the tackle, third down coming up. But Van Beek did a nice job, a really nice job when you look at it. He threw for 956 yards, 6 touchdowns, completed 52% of his passes, and led the Rockets to a number of victories. Top receiver, though, coming in with 14 catches, a team-high 362 yards and a touchdown. And as you said, Ricardo, probably the starting quarterback next season with Van Evenhoven graduating. Van Evenhoven looking to, nope, nothing doing.
Wow.
Nothing doing, and the defense got to stop. just busting through. Couldn't get a read on the number who was there first, but got in the backfield and there was just nowhere to go. So a 3-and-out by that Kimberly defense.
Grafton leading Plymouth at the half, 17-14.
There's the punt. Ooh, beautiful.
Wow.
Spiraling punt. Howard, fair catch, tough catch. Great punt.
Yeah, that's when you're going backwards and catching it, Brett, that's always like hold your breath time.
Boy, beautiful punt. Was that Weinke on the punt? I think it might have been number 19. And Kimberly with it
Well,
on its own 34.
if you're the Papermakers, this is what you wanted, right? A 3-and-out. You get the ball with pretty good field position, 34 near the 35-yard line. Now it's a matter of, again, eliminating those mistakes and getting that ball into the end zone. You're only down one score, or a touchdown, I should say.
Wildcat with Doucette waiting for the snap. He's got it and looking for some space. It's not there. Ricardo Rock is just not fooled.
No.
Here's my question to you. When you run in the Wildcat, you want to have that little passing threat, though, right? If you're taking that direct snap.
Well, if you're running it as often as they do, yeah, you want to have some sort of threat, or else they can just load the box. But, you know, they've been running this all year.
Good Neenah defense, though.
You got to give – here's the thing. You got to give Ellefson a little breather, you know?
Yeah, because he plays both sides. Yeah, he's an outstanding linebacker.
But he's out there at quarterback now. 2 receivers near side for Ellefson. 2nd down and 8.
He's just going to keep it, looking for some running room. Squeezes through, close to a 1st down.
This Neenah defense is really playing well, Brett. You got to give them kudos for that. Making things very difficult for Kimberly.
Look at Braden Ellefson and the Colt linebacker of the year, along with Bobby Salm of Appleton North here in the Fox Valley Association. Unanimous first team.
Well earned. Psalm's a heck of a linebacker, too.
I
have Ellefson, 11 carries, 73 yards, Brett. So a 3rd down and 3 here at the 41.
Ellefson in at quarterback as well. Will he keep it, or is he going to throw it? No, he's just going to keep it, look for some running room, and trying to push the pile. He is short, though. 4th down. That Neenah defense holds. And here comes the punt team. So both defenses 3 and out to start the second half. So Hermes to punt it away, and guess who is back to return?
Diesel's punting it.
Diesel's punting, but maybe we'll call it the Ferrari, the race car. Grant Dean back to receive.
The Maserati.
There you go. Whoa! That's a fake! Ricardo, a fake! Wow, what a call there. It faked me out completely. That's Brady Bell. I was watching Hermes in my binoculars. I thought the punt sailed over his head. The snap, I should say. Got me big time. And got the Neenah defense as well.
Brett, that's a 22-yard fake.
Yeah, I had Hermes in my binoculars, and he fooled it. He sold it to me big time. I thought that ball sailed over his head. And instead, Bell has it on the fake in a 1st down and 10.
Oh, those tricky Papermakers.
What a time to bring that out. Now, Ellefson with some running room. Not much, but kind of a risky call there early
That's a very risky
second
call
half, right?
because of where it was.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't get that conversion, Neenah gets it inside the 50, and they're set up nice offensively.
Ellefson out now, and in the Wildcat will be Marcus Doucette. Doucette, he's looking for some room. Whoa, nice little cut back inside. Boy, Luke Young, you watch him out there, Ricardo. Number 15 for the Rockets. Senior safety, 6'2", 206 pounds. Just tough, and just puts the hits on. How about that for a safety combo with him and Grant Dean?
Best in the state, you would say? It's got to be up there.
course, Grant Dean, the defensive back of the year in the FVA, also the defensive player of the year.
3rd and 4, Brett at the 30.
This is 4-down territory
It is.
without a doubt. Here is Doucette again in the Wildcat waiting for the snap. He's got it, and what do we have here? We're going to have a false start. That's going to push the
boy.
Papermakers back, 3rd and 9. Thanks again to our sponsors, Cellcom, Piggly Wiggly, and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Get those stocking stuffers ready with buy one, gift one free on all connected watches, tablets, and cameras. Mix and match to spread the love and cheer. Visit cellcom.com for details. Don't forget about Piggly Wiggly, Ricardo. Thanksgiving just around the corner, and Piggly Wiggly has all your holiday essentials. Stop by your local Piggly Wiggly and get ready to celebrate.
All right.
Shop the pig. Ellefson now. Oh, good. Whoa, that's a risky throw, but you know what? I'm trying to get a number on the receiver. That's Aaron Cullen, Ricardo, playing a little basketball there. I think that's just short. But I think he did a good job of boxing out that defender so that he gave Ellefson a good target. Now 4th and a yard to go. Don't forget about Cooney's as well. Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. They have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Check them out online, Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear.com. Now what do you do here? Marcus Doucette in at Wildcat, the running back, going to take the direct snap. We got a false start. So 4th and 1, 4th and 6. Ricardo, too many mistakes.
No, definitely. You can't have that now. These are pre-snap mistakes. Now it's going to be a 4th and 6. Brett, a couple of scores updated. We're at running clock. Edgar over Shiocton, 37-0. Where are we at here? Bondwell leading Auburndale, 28-14. Wrightstown running clock at 35-0 over Southern Door.
That surprises me. I know Wrightstown's good, but Southern Door's got a good, typically a good program. Ellefson in and out quarterback on 4th and 6. He's looking, going good, taking down, shot downfield for Cullen, and it is, I think it's intercepted. It is intercepted. That's number 6, Zane Schmidt. Is that his second pick of the night? I believe it is. Ellefson taking a shot at Cullen, and Schmidt coming in down with the football. Really good coverage. And the Rockets, Ricardo, that's a 3rd turnover of the game for Kimberly.
This is a different kind of turnover, though, Brett, because if it was on 4th down, this is kind of like a punt now. Neenah is way inside, right there by the goal line. Right, is that the 5? Is that where they're marking it?
Yeah, and you look in front of me right now. You got a frustrated Kimberly offense sitting down at the bench.
Here's the thing, though. The defense does its job. You can get that punt back.
Yeah, but
they have to do their job.
Yeah. Great opportunity for the Rockets,
absolutely,
though, to build on this 13-7 lead with some home run hitters and Van Evenhoven and Dean. Dean looking for some room, trying to push the pile. Maybe gets about 5, 2nd down coming up.
Brett, give credit to Schmidt. Let me tell you, because Kimberly last week hit, or at least in the last couple of weeks, we've seen that pass connect.
So +3 are the Rockets, right? And the turnover differential tonight. I don't believe the Rockets have a turnover, if I'm not mistaken.
Not that I know of. 2nd and 6 from the 9 for the Rockets.
Van Evenhoven. Oh! Looking for Young. Young's kind of I think he should have had that is what he's thinking,
Brett,
right?
That was a big play.
I don't know. It looked like he kind of maybe made a wave at his face. Did something maybe block the ball from coming at him because he's got good hands?
Oh, Brett, that would have broke this open just a little bit.
Yeah,
get them out of their end zone.
I don't know if something got in his vision or something that just couldn't trace the ball.
Brett Muskego leading 35-7.
Wow.
Over Franklin.
Wow. Interesting score there.
And Wrightstown leading Southern Door 42-0.
Rockets going to burn a timeout, Ricardo.
This is a big play. It's a big play, Brett.
So Muskego up big on Franklin.
I'm going to say this, Brett, when I did my before the playoffs started, my prediction was that, well, first off, whoever got out of this sectional, I thought Neenah and Kimberly could get. I did pick Neenah or Kimberly. I picked Kimberly to face. I think it was Mukwonago maybe in
Makes
the title
sense.
game.
FVA versus the
But
Class
someone
A.
was going to beat Franklin. I wasn't sold on Franklin. The Southeastern Conference is a good. I'm not saying it's a bad conference. I'm just saying top to bottom, it is not even close to the FVA or the Classic 8.
Well, and that's why I think Muskego was misseeded, Ricardo. You look at what they were 5-4 in the regular season, but 2 or 3 of those losses were by pretty close margins.
And Neenah knows. Neenah led them at the half. They should have probably won that game if they finished a little stronger.
I thought one of those losses, wasn't that a loss to Arrowhead, like 7-3, something like that? Yeah. So here you go, 3rd and 6 for the Rockets. Coming out of a timeout. Van Evenhoven drops back. He's got some space, some time, and beautiful passes. That Dean on the far sideline. Still on his feet. Ricardo, he's not going to be caught. Oh, my goodness. Is that a 91-yard score to Grant Dean from Evan Van Evenhoven?
Big playmakers, Brett. Van Evenhoven, what did we say before the game? He's been getting better at throwing the ball. What a playmaker Dean is, though, Brett.
Did you see the Jets by Grant Dean on that catch? Down the sideline, Ricardo, and again, Van Evenhoven right in the breadbasket. It's quiet here in front of us, the Papermakers fans. Kind of stunned after that one.
And the kick is good. 4:06 remains in the third. Score reads Neenah 20, Kimberly 7.
And as we look at our Cellcom and Piggly Wiggly scoreboard, 20-7 now, Neenah on front.
Playmakers. That's what Neenah has.
91-yard pass from Evan Van Evenhoven to Grant Dean with 4:06 to play in the third quarter.
Turn the kick to Lakers. 14, Carter Howard, and number 26, Keegan Blue. Taking off the Rockets, number 21, Jack Blunt.
Not only the speed, Ricardo, but kind of the balance, right? He's tight roping that far sideline in front of his own bench.
Updating my Twitter, you can follow me at Ricardo De Leon, DELIAN, Brett at PC Brettsy, Rosie at Metal Rosie.
Jack Clunt to kick it off, Ricardo. That's Howard with it. Looking to make something happen, but the Rockets all over that kick return. That's number 19, Hunter Weinke, making the tackle.
Updating my Twitter again, so if you can, please follow me at Ricardo De Leon, DELIAN. So here we go. So Kimberly now, Brett, again, they have just been their worst enemy today. What's this, 3 turnovers now?
Yeah. So that turnover
Did come back to haunt them.
It did. So what is that, 13 points or 14 points off of turnovers?
17. Oh, no. No, yeah, 14 points.
Ellefson, big hit. That's Dean making now the hit on defense.
Number 8, Grant Neenah on the tackle.
That's that 13 points because the first one was they went for the 2-point conversion.
Everything's been a struggle right now for Kimberly, Brett. Their passing game has basically been, I don't say invisible, but it's struggled.
Ellefson waiting for the snap. Papermakers need an answer. There's a handoff to Doucette. There's just nothing there. Ricardo, that Neenah front is winning the battle right now in the trenches. There's just no running lanes. That Neenah defense is playing outstanding football here tonight so far.
He might have lost a yard on that. 3rd and 8. This is tough for Kimberly, Brett, because, again, the passing game has been inconsistent at best. And right now you feel that momentum really churning on the Neenah sideline.
It's all for the Rockets right now. Papermakers need a play here, and they need it badly. 3rd and 6, or sorry, check that, 3rd and 8, down 2 scores. Ellefson's going to roll to his left. Nothing there at all. Brought down. That's number 19. We've called his Hunter Weinke. Boy, he's making some plays out there from that outside linebacker spot. And here comes the punt team, Ricardo. That Neenah defense is just absolutely dominating right now. I got this stat here tonight, too, a stat of the night. In the last 9 playoffs, this is a Neenah stat. In the last 9 playoffs, that includes this year, Neenah 9-0 against non-FVA teams, 8-0 against the FVA in the last 9 playoffs. Right now, trying to turn the tables and go against what has been a tough go of it for the Rockets in the playoff against conference teams.
Ball's on the Kimberly 49-yard line. 1st and 10 Rockets.
First and 10. Now at the 49.
Something else to mention as well, Ricardo. Kimberly has advanced to the state semifinals in 12 of its past 16 playoff appearances. And right now, the Rockets trying to make sure that doesn't happen again as Dean dives forward for a couple. Kimberly has been... Or check that. I'm sorry. Kimberly has advanced to at least the state quarterfinals in each of its past 11 playoff appearances. So that's a streak that's kind of in jeopardy if the Kimberly gets bounced here in the 2nd round. We're not including the spring of 2021, that alternate season. So it's been a long time since Kimberly has not made it to at least the state quarterfinals. Van Evenhoven going again, looking for Van Beek. And, it's knocked out. He had it, and he's kind of frustrated. Boy, that ball was pinpoint again. Number 30, Spencer Pendleton, the junior defensive back, I think maybe knocked it away. How about the evolution, Ricardo, of Evan Van Evenhoven as a complete quarterback,
He's
right?
putting it together. We mentioned that the last several years, that how he plays. This is not a knock on Dean, but when your quarterback can do it on both with the arm and the legs as consistent as he can, that makes the defense, it makes it tough for the defense.
Dangerous.
Key critical play here for the Papermaker defense, Brett, and there's a flag on Neenah.
Still have game. Took too long.
Oh, boy.
Big penalty there, right?
Yes. Well, if you're Kimberly, you're looking for any kind of break. This 5-yard penalty could be it, because that makes it 3rd and 13. Now, I will say this. You got to watch Dean here, because wherever he's matched up, it's a mismatch.
No doubt about it. Neenah, a playoff participant every season since 2014. Neenah looking to advance to the state quarterfinals for the 2nd straight season. Prior to last season, the Rockets' last trip to the state quarterfinals was in 04 when they made it all the way to the state semifinals. Dean in motion right now, Van Evenhoven. And now we have another penalty against the Rockets, and that's a good way to kill a drive.
It's a false start.
It is. Neenah's overall playoff record all time, 18 wins, 19 losses.
When's the last time Neenah has made it to state? It's been...
Have they ever made it to state?
I thought they did. I might be thinking of the basketball team, BC.
Basketball team's been there every year. But I don't know. I don't know if the football team's ever made it down to Madison. Maybe folks can help us out.
They had to have. They're a big program.
Anybody don't have the ability to look that up right now? Anybody that can help us out on our YouTube chat, let me know. The Rockets, Van Evenhoven going downfield again. And, whoa, did he catch it? He did! Bennett Stuckel, the senior wide receiver. Ricardo, what a catch along the near sideline. Wow.
And, hey, that was another great pass from Van Evenhoven.
Oh, my goodness.
He is showing off his arm.
He's putting on a clinic right now in the passing game for the Rockets. Oh, that's a backbreaker. That was, what, third and
That's a 32-yard pass.
what was that, third and
It was 3rd and 18.
3rd and 18.
I'm sorry, that was a 22-yard pass. It's at the 32. Again, backbreaker for the Kimberly defense.
Oh,
That's
I
tough.
guess. But what a throw. And how about Stuckel with a beautiful catch? Again, some coverage there. That's number 14. That is Matthias Charles with the carry.
55, Tyler Williams straight on that tackle.
Got a text about that question. Football has never been to Madison, Ricardo.
Oh, wow. I'm shocked at that, actually. Fred, who carried that one?
Matthias Charles, number 14.
Okay, thank you. I'm shocked. I thought for sure maybe they had done that or been there earlier last century.
3 quarters in the books at Papermaker Stadium as we look at our Cellcom and Piggly Wiggly scoreboard. Neenah on top, 20-7 in this Division I second round game. Winner takes on either Muskego or Franklin. Just
It'll
matters.
be Muskego.
You think that you're calling it already?
Well, yeah, they're up 35-7.
No, we're getting somebody on the chat saying that Neenah went to state in 78.
Aha.
Now, let me see. I'm gonna.
Oh, no, John Yoke, he just texted us. We have never made it to state
Okay.
football. Thank you, John.
Appreciate that, John. I don't know what 1978. Somebody is saying that Neenah beat Beloit. Well, that's basketball, people. What are we talking basketball in the chat for? I know you were at state in 78 and you won the state championship, right? 75 and 78 under the great Ron Einerson, of course, a couple years ago under the great Lee Rubbus, boys basketball team,
Sure.
winning a state title. What a run that program has been on. And Lee, if you're watching tonight, we're going to see you pretty soon. Basketball season's coming up here pretty quick. Can't wait. Furthest Neenah has gone, they made it to Final Four back in 88 and in 04. Thank you,
Yep.
John. Mentioned that 04 team, yeah. Van Evenhoven, nice. Did he catch it? Oh, is that Young with the catch? It is. Boy, strong hands, Young. He had a defender on him.
Boy, if the Rockets are able to put this one in the end zone, Fred,
Mikey Wilds on the tackle.
that might be too much to overcome for the Papermakers.
17-yard line.
And for all you Neenah fans out there, again, with Muskego whipping up on Franklin, that means you get to host Muskego next week.
Well, it could be a rematch of a game that we streamed in week 1 down in Muskego. We'll see. There's still a lot of football to be played, but funny how that could all work out. First things first, though, the Rockets now 3rd and 1 as Van Evenhoven, who has just been sensational tonight. Now he's going to keep it using his legs, darting, looking for his 3rd touchdown of the
Flag.
night. And I think we're going to have a hold.
Yeah. Oh.
That was kind of a big hole,
It
wasn't
was
it?
such a nice play, too, but yeah, I see the flag.
24, Brennan Resch on the tackle. Flag on the play.
Steve Young, Ricardo, in his 12th season as Neenah's head coach. We talked about this before. We streamed Neenah a couple times this season. 26 and 7 over the last 3 seasons, right? That includes a share of the FBA championship 2 of the past 3 seasons. That includes this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a 3-way tie between Kimberly, Neenah, and Kaukauna. They also shared the FBA crown with the Papermakers in 2022. Prior to that, Neenah had shared the VFA South title with Fond du Lac. And before that, it was the Rockets' first conference title since sharing an FBA championship with Oshkosh North in '99. But what a job Steve Young has done rebuilding this program into a FBA powerhouse. Van Evenhoven, look at that! Oh, what a hit!
Wow. Who got him, Brett?
That
number
was number 2, Mikey Wilds on Luke Young. Is he all right? Did he get up?
Oh, my goodness. What a hit.
That ball was right there, though, but the credit Wilds with the absolute perfect timing, Ricardo, to
That
break
was a
that up.
heck of a
I
pass.
thought that was going to be a touchdown.
That was a heck of a pass.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, Van Evenhoven's in a zone.
Well, no kidding, Ricardo, but how about that? We said the defensive line's doing a good job. How about the offensive line for the Rockets as well? There's no pressure really on Van Evenhoven when he drops back to pass. So 4th down, Kimberly needing a stop as the Rockets going for it. Van Evenhoven, he's going to drop back again. He's going to sling it over to, he just skipped it.
Yep.
Looking for Grant Dean, it just wasn't there. So the Papermakers got the stop, and now the Papermakers need to do some work. But I just wanted to say, remember when Steve Young took over, he had inherited a program that went a combined 7-38 over the previous 5 seasons, and look what he's done since, right? Has built Neenah into one of the upper echelon teams in the FVA. And that includes a pair of conference championships or shares of the title in 2 of the last 3 seasons. Now, Ricardo, it's kind of now or never, right, for this Kimberly
they got to
offense?
get something going. Time's your enemy right now.
Well, I wonder if you got maybe some sort of a trick, something in your bag of tricks to loosen that defense up a little bit and get you going. And I wonder if they're going to try to play with a little pace. Try to get to the line quickly, down 2 scores, 4th quarter. You can see Ellefson looking towards the sideline at the play, or getting the play from the coaching staff. Ooh, got the first down. That's Plew with the carry.
Ooh, tough run, too.
That stops the clock briefly, and let's see how quickly Kimberly wants to get going here with 10 minutes to play in this game, down 2 scores.
Wow. Coleman holds off Abbotsford 7-6, according to our guys back at the office. Abbotsford went for the field goal, 28-yard field goal, and he missed it. The Abbotsford kicker. Boy, that's a tough way to lose.
Yes, it is.
Coleman survives.
Kimberly Ellefson going to sling it downfield. Got Cullen. Nice pitch and catch there. Beautiful route, Ricardo. Nice play call. Nice ball. Best pass of the night by Braden Ellefson to get that first down.
Ball's going to be placed at the 43, so 17-yard gain for Ellefson. See if I get some of these other scores here, and as this one comes right down to the wire.
Winnicott on top, 15-6 over Xavier.
Yeah, West Appear 31, Sun Prairie East 14. That's an impressive score, in my opinion. And Winnicott, much closer game than the first time they played them, though. You got to give Coach Hankins credit there.
Yeah, not a surprise, right? Conference rivals in the Bay. Well, Ellefson, he's going to fake the handoff. He's got time. He's thinking about it. Now he's just going to run. He's got a lot of green in front of him if he wants to, and now it's too late. Good job by that Neenah defense to close in fast, Ricardo.
Yeah, he was looking downfield, and he could have probably ran it for 7, 8, 9 yards, Brett, but he wanted to see if something opened downfield. By the time he figured, no, I'm going to have to run, Neenah had really closed up those lanes.
Yeah, it looked like he thought about it. He was kind of teetering along that line of scrimmage, but like you said, and then just waited too long. We can't criticize that by any stretch of the imagination, trying to make something happen, down 20-7.
Wrightstown 42, Southern Door 8. That's near the end of the 3rd quarter.
Ellefson did a good job, Ricardo, to get out of bounds, though, and stop this clock and give his offense some time here to try to pick up a big first down. Here we go. Ellefson's going to run to his right. Now he's going to keep it, tuck it in. Oh, he's got a seam. And he's got the first down, slides, and that stops the clock. Smart play by Ellefson, Ricardo. Just get down. You know you're going to take a hit and get to the line of scrimmage and try to keep this drive moving.
Ball's at the 32, Brett, 11-yard gain, but you're right.
Now you see also in this drive who's playing exclusively at quarterback right now. It's Braden Ellefson. With the season on the line. Ellefson, he's going to fake it. Nope. He's going to take a shot downfield. Looking, and it's intercepted again.
Dean.
Grant Dean with the pick.
Wow.
Now Dean's got some space. Uses the official. And finally still up on his feet. Ricardo, I think that could be the backbreaker. Grant Dean doing his best, basically looking like an outfielder right there, right? Playing center field, and comes down with the interception in front of the goal line.
First and 10 Rockets.
Is that the third interception of the night for the Rockets and the fourth turnover by the Papermakers?
I believe it is.
Wow.
Boy, the Rockets defense has come to play. I'll tell you that right now. They're spirited. They're flowing to the ball. Their playmakers are making plays. You know, you always talk about, Brett, teams playing their best ball at this time of the season. No doubt the Rockets, whether it's their defense, whether it's Dean running the ball, whether it's Dean catching the ball and Van Evenhoven throwing it, they're firing on all cylinders, Brett. This is
no
a
doubt.
much different team from the first time we saw them earlier this season.
Well, we
Brett.
saw them they lost to Muskego. Again,
Right.
played a really nice first half, but then we saw them take down Appleton North, I
Oh,
think. And
boy.
look at this run. That's Van Beek showing his jets in Kimberly territory. Well, good fast run
or was
by
that
Ashton.
Cannon?
No, that was number 5.
Oh, okay.
Spencer Bentlin forced him out of bounds.
Van Beek, wow.
Into the 26-yard line. First and 10 Neenah.
But anyway, we saw them take down then Appleton North, and that was a key game for the Rockets. Let me just look at my game notes and try to find that. That was week 6. They were 3-2. They had just lost 2 weeks earlier to Kaukauna, Ricardo, 17-6. And I thought, the season could be kind of not on the brink, but if they lose to Appleton North, then you're 3-3 at that point. And then where's that season going? But they beat Appleton North 25-14. Followed that up with a 29-28 victory against Kimberly, and then finished off the season with wins against Fond du Lac, Hortonville, and of course what they did last week against Milwaukee, Hamilton, Audubon. So 6 straight wins for the Rockets, like you said, playing their best football of the season, trying to make that 7 in a row here. And thinking about the knockout blow, that's number 14, Matthias Charles.
Charles on the carry.
Third down coming up.
Elson again on the tackle.
You got to give credit to the Rockets, Brett, playing so well. Especially remember they were down early, and then they were able to get that pick down here in the red zone. Kind of started turning the momentum the other way, and then Brett, the botched snap that turned into the fumble kind of got things completely over to their side. They've been basically in control since then, wouldn't you say?
I would, yeah. And look at this score. Muskego now up over Franklin, 42-7.
Oh boy!
I can tell everybody watching our next game of the week will be either here or Neenah taking on Muskego. We're already set for that one. Muskego's got that one sewed up. How about that game? So we will have that state quarterfinal game. Regardless, it's going to be either here or Neenah based on that Muskego score. And it's, Ricardo, that's a running clock in that Muskego-Franklin game.
Yeah, like I told you about the passing thing. I know they had a great quarterback, but again, the conference not being very good. What's the other only good team in that league? Is it overseeing Case?
Oak Creek, maybe?
Yeah, Oak Creek.
Yeah. It's not the Classic 8. It's not the FBA.
Not at all.
And that matters at this time of year. And we see that in a lot of sports. Van Evenhoven, boy, he's going to take another shot.
Got him.
He's got Van
Wide
Beek,
open.
and it's a touchdown! Holy smokes! Was that how?
I have it 31 yards.
31 yards. Pinpoint throw.
6:42 left. Brett, I think this score has shocked us. Not that we didn't think Neenah could win this game, but the way they're doing it through the air like
the
that.
The fact that it's 20, yeah. What a what a game by Evan Van Evenhoven tonight. Holy moly. As Jack Clunt in for the PAT. Is that going to make it through? And it does. And with 6:42 remaining in this game, we look at our Cellcom Piggly Wiggly scoreboard. Ricardo Neenah in complete command, up 27-7 over the Papermakers.
How many touchdown passes is that for Van Evenhoven?
Yeah, let me get it here. That's 2 for Van Evenhoven, and he's also rushed for a pair of scores.
Just
Remember-
updating my Twitter on that. Wow.
Remember, Kimberly came out looking really good, right? Opened, well, they got this, opened the game with the, ended up with a touchdown pass from Ellefson to Carter Howard, made it 7-0. 27 straight now points by the Rockets. And right now, it's looking like it's going to be Neenah hosting Muskego in the state quarterfinal. And Mike Elkin, if you're listening and watching, I'll send you an email, but definitely would like to confirm our plans to stream that game, assuming that this is how this is going to end. But this is a heck of a performance by the Neenah Rockets tonight.
Kaukauna leads 41-13.
Ooh.
End of the third or early fourth in that one.
Bennett Steckel on the tackle.
What a performance from Neenah, Brett. And this might be one of those kind of games where the program's been looking for that kind of next step game. This is one of them now. Thinking that they're going to finish this off. They have another one against Muskego next week, Brett, but you got to hand it to the Rockets. They've improved week in, week out,
And
really playing well.
All phases tonight have been very impressive.
Look
Olsen,
out.
yeah, he's gonna be dropped by, that's number 90, Nate Cramp, the junior defensive lineman.
Elson on the carry, 98 Cramp on the tackle. Lost back to the 19-yard line. Second and 13 for the Bakers.
Second and 13 for Ellefson on the 19.
Oh, what a catch by Howard and what a throw by Ellefson. And you can see, look at how fast now the Papermakers racing to the line of scrimmage. Winneconne now up over Xavier 22-6, so looking like the Wolves are going to move on. You kind of looking at Division 4, and you kind of see, depending what happens tomorrow with Freedom and Prescott,
yeah.
you're kind of starting to see maybe that could be a big state semifinal showdown at some point as well. Ellefson now running towards his home sideline, tosses it to Howard. Howard gets out of bounds.
In the Rockets' 43-yard line, second and 4 for the Bakers.
Second and 4, they're calling it from the 43. Ellefson, first down throw.
That's number 13, Alex Lam.
Number 13, Alex Lum.
36-yard line.
6-yard line, first and 10, Papermakers.
Just don't think well, we'll see. I mean, there's 5 minutes to go. I don't know. Definitely in hurry mode are the Papermakers, down 27-7. Boy, Ellefson looking downfield and just gets rid of it.
Yeah.
Left end for Aiden Lum falls incomplete. Second down.
Yeah, I love one of the signs they hold up there. I think I saw the Ultimate Warrior.
Is that who that was? Yeah.
The Ultimate Warrior from back in the old
Way
WWF days. Yeah.
That meant something.
Yeah, that was Brett. That was back when I was a teen. I was watching WWF. Now became WWE. Second and 10 from the 36. Ellefson.
That's
Complete.
Aiden Lam.
Takes it inside the 30 to the 29. Brings up a third and short, Brett, from the 29. 7-yard completion.
Third and 3 for the Bakers.
And under 5 minutes to play here in this game as we look at our Cellcom Piggly Wiggly scoreboard. Winner of this one And right now, looking like the Rockets will host Muskego because that's a running clock game against Franklin. Muskego on top 42-7 over the top-ranked team in the state. Nothing downfield. Yep, he's just going to have to try to get out of bounds, and good athleticism, Ricardo, to do that because it looked like he was going to get dropped right on the turf, but stops the clock with 4:52 to play.
And it got on a first down, Brett. So he needed 3, got 3.
In the 26-yard line, first and 10 Papermakers.
First down and 10 at the 26 for Kimberly. Need touchdowns in a hurry here.
Howard gets out of bounds.
Sweep the 14, Carter Howard. Brandon Price on the coverage. Into the 23-yard line. Second and 7 for the Makers.
Ball's at the 23, 3-yard gain on that last pass. So Papermaker's going to have to get in the end zone pretty quick here, Brett. Oh, boy.
Hit.
He has him. He was open, but boy, Ellefson took a hit, Brett.
Yeah, it was that number 12, Henry St. Clair,
Whoa.
junior defensive lineman, put a pretty good lick on Ellefson. Ellefson gets up.
You know, Brett, it's not often when you see Kimberly get kind of out-physicaled, but I think they got out-physical tonight. The Rockets just have been the more physical team tonight.
Yeah.
Believe me, that is a rarity. I can't remember the last time that's happened. Maybe in that Fond du Lac game with Braylon Allen and things like. I mean, that might have been the only game where at the line of scrimmage they were just getting beat.
Both sides, too.
Yeah.
Ellefson, watch out, got to get rid of it, and does. That's Aaron Cullen.
Pass complete to number 9, Aaron Cullen.
Not yet a first down. It looks like it's just short
Yeah,
to the 20 or the 18 maybe.
fourth down coming up.
Ball marked at the 18-yard line. Fourth and 2 for the Makers.
Checking the chat out right now. Looks like a bunch of gibberish going on.
Yeah.
So Ellefson zigging and zagging his way inside the 10, still on his feet down to about the 5. Maybe they'll mark him at the 6. Stops the clock briefly.
To the 6-yard line, first and goal to go.
Yeah, Ricardo, I was expecting a close, tight battle. And boy, what a performance here tonight by the Rockets. Just out, I mean, it was dominant from all 3 phases. And while we credit the play up front for the Rockets on both sides, how about the play of Evan Van Evenhoven
Yeah,
tonight?
he's definitely
Holy
been
smokes.
the difference maker for the Rockets.
Ellefson's going to, nope, he's looking and trying to get his way in, backing up, and did he get in?
At the 1?
Ellefson on the keeper
At the 1.
to the 1-yard line. Second and goal to go Makers.
Well, Ellefson, they're trying to get these guys up. Luke Young helping Ellefson up.
Ellefson's leaving. Is that him leaving?
No, he's just going to get the play.
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
Well, maybe he is coming off the sideline. He coming up a little gimpy. And instead, that is number 28. Is that Bell?
Yep.
Going to take the direct snap on the Wildcat, and Bell is in on the 1-yard score.
Touchdown Makers.
So Bell scores from a yard out.
And the kick to extra point for the Makers, number 10, Maddox Herbers from the hole, number 7, Cam Wong. Along snapper is 94, Carter Erdman.
I just saw something on the chat I wanted to mention here in a little bit, Ricardo, after
Okay.
the PAT. Is this Hermes out for the point
Yep.
after try?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh. Got it through.
And the kick is good.
And the kick sails through with 2:48 to play in this game. Neenah on top, 27-14 as we look at our Cellcom and Piggly Wiggly scoreboard. Yeah, just want to backtrack here and see who said that. It's A-Wenz 285. It says Brett and Ricardo update. Appleton North linebacker Ben Wenzel is doing well, recovering 3 days after surgery. Thank you for that update. I was actually wondering how he was doing, and great to hear. And we look forward to seeing Ben Wenzel on the field next season because he is an outstanding football player, outstanding athlete overall.
Unfortunate last week. Tough.
Looked like a leg injury, right? And had to be taken off by an ambulance.
Well, here's a score, Brett, that's interesting.
Good to hear. Thank you for the update.
Yeah, and not to be. I mean, I hope Wenzel's doing fine. Great kid will be back next year, hopefully. Yeah. Here's a interesting score. Division I, DC Everest 31, Madison Memorial 17. Now,
the Evergreens.
Everyone was talking about Madison Memorial and all this stuff in the Capitol or whatever the Big Eight, whatever the conference is over there.
Oh, onside kick, and it's not going to go 10 yards.
But DC Everest, Brett, Wisconsin Valley Conference.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Remember the Evergreens way back in the day were a powerhouse, right?
For sure.
That's when the Wisconsin Valley was a powerhouse. Look at the officials are talking about it, Ricardo. Did it go the 10 yards? You can see the Papermakers are saying it did. The official's going to talk things over here. Couldn't see the ball bouncing with in front of the Kimberly bench here, and now the official's going to get away from the.
Yeah.
They don't want to be persuaded into something that might not be the case. Let's see how the officials talk this out. And let's see what the final decision is.
They're running over.
They're looking at the Kimberly bench saying no. Looks like it'll be Neenah's ball. And you can see the Rockets jumping up and down. And it comes the Papermakers defense. So it must have been close.
Yeah.
So the Papermakers, 3 timeouts remain. I mean, weirder things have happened. You don't know, with a weird exchange or something with 2:48 to play. And
What a fabulous game, though, by Neenah. Can't take anything away from the Rockets. They have been in control since that interception, as you see Van Beek.
Van Evenhoven, yeah.
Van Evenhoven, I mean.
A lot of Vans to
a lot of Vans, but listen, remember he was playing as a freshman, and we always said Neenah, if he ever realizes his potential, that Van Evenhoven, they can go far. Now, listen. I feel really good about them going up next week against Muskego. They should have won that game week 1 if they could finish.
I want to ask you about that.
Okay.
I want to ask you, get your thoughts here on this next play. I was thinking about this a little bit earlier in the fourth quarter as the Rockets going to take their sweet old time for the snap here. Van Evenhoven claps his hands off to, is that Dean? But, Ricardo, here's the thing. Now, right, Muskego runs that wing T.
Yep.
Very difficult to prepare for.
It is.
The Rockets have played against the wing T.
They have.
How much does that benefit Neenah going forward into a game where they've faced this team and that offense already? That's got to be a huge benefit. Not only that, and then having it on your home turf.
Brett, I think that's a big plus. You know, now I'm guessing Franklin does not play against that wing T. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they got smoked. You know, that's tough to prepare for. I remember when Kimberly played Muskego with Steve Jones, I remember coming in. He said that's tough to prepare for.
Yeah.
You have, a couple days to kind of install things and then kind of look at tendencies and things. That's not enough time. But you're right, Brett. They have – not only do they have game film of previous games of Muskego, they have their own game film of that close loss to the Warriors.
And remember, too, Neenah dominated that first half.
They did.
A very interesting matchup here as Dean takes the direct snap, and he's got the first down. But that's very advantageous. There will be no, of course, you're talking week 1 to now what week, what's it, week
11, 12?
well, week 12, a lot of the difference in 3 months, obviously.
They're a much better team, too. Muskego,
No
obviously.
doubt, no doubt. But you're not going to be wowed by, and I remember saying this in week 1, too, where Neenah had a whole off season to prepare for that offense. So they had the ability to kind of go after it. So they've seen it, they've practiced it. They didn't have to hurry up and try to install stuff to slow that offense down, like in week 3, for instance, it was a non-conference game. So they've been working on that stuff in the off season as well. Dean again. But that's the plan, folks. So we're going to be at Neenah High School for that state quarterfinal showdown between Neenah and Muskego. And what a battle that's going to be. Thank you, JJ. He says, I appreciate what you guys do for football and basketball. We love doing this stuff and showcasing some of the best talent in the state of Wisconsin right here in the Fox Valley. And we're going to be showcasing 2 of the top teams in the state next week in Muskego and Neenah down at Neenah High School. I guess Neenah High School in Fox Crossing.
Yes.
Looking forward to that trip as well. And again, thanks to all the folks here at Kimberly High School as Dean racing to the end zone. And whoa, what a spin! Is he in? He's in. I didn't catch how far that run
38
was.
yards.
38 yards. My goodness.
Brett, and I just sent a Twitter with my posts saying that they had won 27-14. Now I have to go back and change it. Oh, Brett.
What an acrobatic, athletic run that was for Dean as Jack Clunt in for the PAT.
1:11 remains in the contest. Score rates Neenah 34, Kimberly 14.
But I was going to just finish. Appreciate Kimberly for kind of taking care of us the last few weeks and letting us come here and do some big time games down the stretch here in the regular season and of course in the playoffs as well. So thank you very much to all of the folks here. Winneconne beats
Yeah.
Xavier.
Our own Mike Sherry was there.
21, Jack Clunt.
So it's 34-14?
Yeah.
Okay.
Back we turn the kick for the Lakers. Number 17, Dylan Eisenschenk.
The final, Brett, this is an interesting one, too. Mukwonago, this is according to our guy over at the Journal Sentinel, Michael Whitlow. Mukwonago football final, they win 21-14 over Racine Case. Now, Racine Case is the other Southeastern Conference team that's pretty good. So the Classic 8 was able to beat Racine Case, probably the second best team, and their champion, Franklin. So Muskego and Mukwonago.
Strength of schedule, right?
Yeah,
Strength of conference. The unfortunate thing for the FVA, they're all playing each other.
It's true.
You know, Appleton North going down last week to Kimberly. Now Kimberly going down to Neenah this week. It'd be nice if they
Well,
could.
Kalkana's in D2.
Yeah, that's true. But it'd been nice if you could have spread out these D1 teams a little bit more.
On the tackle.
But what, 4 Kimberly turnovers tonight, Ricardo? So what do you the game plan? Again, first there's going to be a photo gallery later tonight. Postcrescent.com, I believe our colleague from the Press Gazette is here tonight, Torque Mason. Secondly, you're going to have coverage of this game in Post-Crescent tomorrow morning, I believe, right?
Yes, I'll have a wrap with a few comments. It's not going to be as thorough as usually are because I got to get some sleep because I'm heading up to state cross country. I got to leave in the morning for that. But I will have something previewing the state quarterfinal games, though, Brett. And then don't forget about Mike Sherry. He's been predicting all these games. My boss, Mike Sherry, he does every week. He does little capsules of each of the games, gets comments from coaches. So it's a really well done. Please follow that too. He's the one who's making the predictions, not me.
Yeah, right. You've
I want to make sure people know that.
You've taken some shots on Ricardo. Are we going to see you for the big game next to the state quarterfinals now that it's going to be here?
I'm
in
going
this
to
area?
discuss things with my boss, and we'll see if that is going to be the case. Again, that depends on how Kimberly boys volleyball does if they beat Appleton North Saturday. How they fare in their quarterfinal and semifinal.
I just don't know. I kind of half anticipated a trip to Franklin. But with Muskego hammering the Sabres tonight, now the trip for us would be quite easy. Don't have to drive down to Franklin. We can, well, it's either going to be here or now it's going to be at Neenah High School for a state quarterfinal game. We will be covering that one. We will be streaming it. It will be our Cellcom Varsity Game of the Week live stream, Neenah versus Muskego.
And you've already talked to Coach to Elkin on that.
Oh,
That I knew you would, Brett. You're always on the level, my friend.
I'll confirm with him after the game, but I guess your thoughts quickly before you head down to the field, right?
Well, like we mentioned before,
Yeah.
Kimberly, too many mistakes. Too many mistakes.
Four
You can't,
turnovers.
Yeah, 4 turnovers. This was a proud and a very good team, but that's what happened in their loss to Neenah earlier this year, Brett. They had, turnovers that are very uncharacteristic, and it happened today. And that's what kind of led to the loss. And then for Neenah, this is the best I've seen them play. I like what I see from Neenah here. See, this is a team now that maybe early in the year they don't finish this kind of game. This year they are finished, or this time now, months later, they're finishing strong. They're finishing with a win. I love their chances against Muskego. I know Muskego's playing very well, though, Brett. Anytime you knock off top-ranked Franklin, but these guys are playing well, too. 34-14 in a playoff over Neenah or over Kimberly. Come on. That's got to turn some heads here at the state level in terms of football enthusiasts. So it's going to be a great game, Brett. I can't wait to see what happens, and hopefully I will be covering it, but we'll see how that, kind of fares, I guess, and how that kind of turns out with Kimberly. Girls are still alive too, Brett, and maybe Kimberly boys I'll be covering at state volleyball.
Absolutely. It's a good
So I'm going to head
stuff.
down there. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you, Ricardo. And that's another Friday night in the books for us. And again, we appreciate the viewership as well.
We ask that you please drive home
And hanging out with us. Yeah, thanks, Mike Graver. Last time Kimberly did not make it past the second round was 2011. So it was quite a run for the Papermakers. Congratulations to the Rockets for an outstanding performance here tonight. Let me run down the scoring before I sign off. Kimberly started out 7-0 lead in the first quarter, a 19-yard touchdown pass from Braden Ellefson to Carter Howard. And then it was all Neenah from there. A 2-yard touchdown run by Evan Van Evenhoven, and then a 1-yard touchdown run by Van Evenhoven in the second quarter, and the Rockets led 13-7 at the half. How about a 91-yard pass from Van Evenhoven to Grant Dean with 4:06 to play in the third quarter, made it 20-7. That was off of an interception. Actually, 4 turnovers tonight for the Papermakers. And then really just icing the game, a 31-yard pass from Van Evenhoven to Ashton Van Beek made it 27-7 in the fourth quarter. Brady Bell puts a touchdown run in, a 1-yard run for the Papermakers with 2:48 to play, made it 27-14, and then a 33-yard run by Dean caps the scoring with 1:11 to play. 34-14 is the final. Just kind of looking at a couple touchdowns off of turnovers. And you look at Van Evenhoven, 2 touchdown runs and 2 touchdown passes tonight. Dean with 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving and 1 rushing. So it's an outstanding overall performance in all 3 phases for the Rockets. With the victory, Neenah now winners of 7 straight. The Rockets improved to 9-2 on the season. And they will host Muskego, a big winner over Franklin, taking down top-ranked Franklin tonight. The Rockets will host Muskego next Friday night in a WIAA Division I state quarterfinal game at Neenah High School. That is our Cellcom Varsity live stream of the week. And Kimberly finishes its season 8-2. Congratulations to the Papermakers. Another strong year sharing the FVA championship with Neenah and Kaukauna. And as I mentioned, our live stream next week, Neenah will host Muskego. Live coverage will kick off at 6:45 p.m. You can access our previous Game of the Week live streams on our USA Today Network Wisconsin websites. Just go to the sports section and scroll down until you see the Watch Our Varsity Game of the Week Prep live streams link. And again, thanks to our sponsors, Cellcom, Piggly Wiggly, and Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear. Black Friday starting early at Cellcom now through Monday. Choose a smartphone for just $1 per month. Visit cellcom.com for details. Thanksgiving, folks, just around the corner. And Piggly Wiggly has all your holiday essentials, including turkeys, hams, the freshest produce, and everything else you need for the perfect Thanksgiving feast. Stop by your local Piggly Wiggly and get ready to celebrate. Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig. And Cooney's, they have the skills and experience to customize your apparel and spread the word about your organization. Visit them online at Cooney's Embroidery and Sportswear.com. So for Ricardo, for Rosie, for Mike Sherry, and the entire USA Today Network Wisconsin crew, I am Brett Christopherson saying so long from Papermaker Stadium here in Kimberly. Once again, the final score tonight in this WIAA Division I second round matchup. Neenah with the victory. The Rockets win 34-14. Thanks for watching, everybody.